So, before we get into the recap, I do want to just say for anyone who watches this that we have 2 new players popping in today. We have, looking at the camera, down here, we have Avrichu.
Hello.
Over here, we have Crep.
So,
I will introduce your characters momentarily. For now, you guys just hang tight.
Yeah.
So, for the rest of you, you are a group of... I don't know if I should call you adventurers necessarily. Some adventurers, some thrill seekers, money seekers, artisans. And Cora.
Oh. I'm totally an adventurer. What do you mean?
A group of strangers, though, who all came together in the backwater village, hamlet, really, of Hummelbank. You were all resting at the Inn of the Welcome Lady, and while there, you met, you met Sorio, a man who wasn't very good at people. He was an obvious mark for getting his money stolen. He had already rubbed the town's wizard the wrong way, and he was asking for help to get an interview with the wizard Burn. He claimed that he had already been there once and had been turned away, and after some negotiation and discussion, you guys agreed to help him. And you had a fairly pleasant evening with drinks, conversation, stories, and finally sleep. Unfortunately, when the morning came, you were awoken by the presence of the town's one official lawman, Rutger, who informed you that Sorio had been found murdered just outside of the inn. You were sort of press-ganged into investigating this for yourselves because the lawman seemed pretty disconnected from it. He seemed like he wanted very little to do with actually investigating this, and he offered to throw some coin your way if you could prove if you could figure out who had done this. That is, once you'd convinced him it wasn't you. You began by questioning some of the inn's other residents. A certain familiar face for one of you. A pair of travelers, a giant-blooded woman and a dragonborn who followed a strange deity. And then, of course, there was a dwarf who claimed to be a living legend, a mercenary for hire. You discerned, or you assumed, that none of these people could have been the killer. You investigated Sorio's body and found that he was killed by a blunt object of some kind, striking him in the head. He also had wounds on his wrists, ankles, and neck, as if something had bound him tightly. You couldn't really find much else about the crime scene or the body, unless I'm forgetting something. Oh, yes, you also found the... Why don't I look at my little flowchart, because I'm forgetting things. Sorry, guys.
There was a message on the wall.
Yes, you found a message on the wall, which was tree blood, written in blood. You also found a symbol of purity had been drawn in blood on Sorio's forehead. Among his possessions, you found a number of scrolls, which were none other than the stolen property of the wizard Burn. And
we returned.
You found a book containing some strange gibberish. Possibly magic. I think that's all you found on the body.
I just wrote Sorio's belongings, so...
You found that there were tracks outside of the inn, though you were unable to find where they led. you were able to discern that there were 2 people who appeared to have been coming and or going from the upper floor window. You also tracked down Rutger and Byrne's tower on the other side of the village. It looks like it's in the midst of a construction site where a castle is being built. You were able to meet with Rutger and sort of, I don't want to say coaxed him. He misspoke, assuming you knew more than you did, and he kind of revealed a few things to you. You found out that Rutger and Byrne were part of an old conflict with the cult of elemental sin 10 years ago. They were part of the war against that cult, and they continue to investigate it, believing that there may even be spies in town at this very moment. Rutger was pretty convinced that the church was to blame for Sorio's death, though he couldn't offer any concrete evidence. He did let you speak with Byrne, who gave you a little bit of the history of this town, shared his own suspicions, particularly seeing as the recent canoness Elia vanished without a trace, and they never found her. And almost overnight, Father Terrison rose to power in the church, benefiting greatly from her disappearance. You wrapped up your business with Byrne. Oh, I'm sorry. One other thing you had found. You did find evidence that Byrne had actually met with Sorio and given the interview, and that Sorio had, for his part, robbed Byrne and was maybe fixing to rob him again using you. You weren't really sure how that all worked together, I believe. You had left Byrne's tower and were discussing what you would do next, and that is where you now find yourselves, in the village of Hummelbeck.
So to the church?
I mean,
That's where
Yeah,
the clues seem to lead us now.
we don't have anywhere else to go, do we?
I don't think so.
I've said this before. I'm not good at detecting. Clues. Well, I mean, I think going to the church is a good plan, but
Oh, I'm in the same boat as you. I've never, been a detective before, so...
do we need?
I'm just an adventurer.
plan? Yeah, I'm not even that. What do we need a plan going in, or is it just a case of?
I
Did you
think we
murder
should
him?
just go in and ask him. Yeah, that's worked so far.
Unless it hasn't.
Well,
I mean, I don't know. I presume we haven't come across the murderer yet. But
I don't think so. They didn't
No.
seem like murderers to me.
None of the people we interviewed seemed like they were the murderers that we seek.
And when people lie, they always have tells, so you just have to watch for that. So if we
Right.
just ask him and they say no and they're the murderer, we'll know because they'll have a tell.
okay,
That's the plan.
I'm not good at telling if people are lying, so
Sounds like the only plan we've got.
hopefully you'll tell.
Oh, I'm
his
pretty
tell.
good at it, I
Cool.
think.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Anything we need to get on the way there?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I'll follow you guys there.
So
I've never been here, so I don't really know where the church is.
Me neither. I'm new to this area.
Same. Maybe we can just stop and ask the friendly local.
so last time, in reviewing the footage, I realized I never really did properly describe the village when you first entered it.
Mm-hmm.
Which was, of course, a stylistic choice, not a mistake at all.
Yeah.
So as you're leaving the tower, And returning to the dirt road that kind of runs right through the heart of town, you can see a small collection of thatched rooftops and wood cottages. You can see a grove of trees in the center of town, a little park, and the odd bush and tree around the town proper. And beyond, you can even make out the rolling hills and occasional copses of trees outside of town and further back. To the north, you can see a narrow, trickling stream. This is the River Hummel. So small, it's not actually on the continental map, but it's a tiny little stream. It eventually flows into the ocean, but here it runs through the center of town, or the north center. You can see that there is a water wheel. Even from your position on the road, you can see the spinning wheel and hear the creaking of its wood. Beyond, outlying farms in every direction around the town. And only 2 structures in all of Hummelbank rise above the first story and so stick out to your sight. One is the stone tower that you just left atop a hill which will one day be a fully fortified walled castle. The other is at the north end of town and is a stone cathedral.
Oh.
Even as you walk on the road, you can hear the distant bell ringing, informing you that it's noon.
Let's go that way, towards the bells. That's probably it.
Making your way into the town center, you pass a quiet, shaded path that leads into the park and a grove. You can hear the trickle of water, maybe a fountain that way. Though to the north, immediately, in fact, just to your right, you're walking right past it, you can hear the clanging of a hammer on an anvil, and you can see the blacksmith wearing an apron, tone muscles kind of poking out a little bit, and you can see long elvish ears. He looks at you, doesn't smile, but just nods as you pass. You can see that he looks to be working on some part of maybe a plow of some kind. And then there, at the town center, the Inn of the Welcome Lady, where your rooms are, where you have stayed. You can see that there's already some foot traffic. You can see at the stable, which is kind of connected to the inn, there is a small group of people. Some are dismounting from horses. There's a wagon which is being rolled into the shade of the stable, while stable hands tend to the bags and lead the horses away. 2 or 3 better dressed individuals make for the actual doors into the inn. You recognize their type: merchants, money bags at their belts, a few guards coming with them. This is a standard sight in this town. Just in the time you've been here, you've probably seen a handful of exactly their type. And of course, you can see pressed against the wall of the inn a tarp and 2 suntan farmers with rusted spears just kind of standing over it, murmuring at the people as they pass. You take the road. Yes?
Nothing, just cringing.
Oh. You take the road north, past an empty village hall, and a couple of shops. Looks like a tailor, a weaver, a large barn, the smell of which you kind of get a strong whiff of pig coming from it. And then the trickling river, and a small, quaint stone bridge, wide enough for maybe 1 wagon to go over, or 5 people to walk abreast. You cross this bridge, and there on your right, you can see a large in that it's like a wide, not tall, building, and a signpost out front, clearly labeling it as a General Traders. You see a tall, gaunt man standing in the door, smoking something. He looks at you and kind of flicks ash onto the ground, just watching you, eyes slightly narrowed as you pass. You don't get a very friendly vibe from him, but his attention is distracted from you as someone calls his attention inside the building, and he turns and goes back into the trader. Beyond, atop a bluff overlooking the rest of the city, you can see the stone cathedral. Right here. Where is my description of the cathedral? Do I have one? The church looks to be maybe an older structure. It's one of only two stone buildings. Actually, I'm sorry, 3 stone buildings in the entire town, 2 of which you have visited. The third you just passed. It looked like a stonemason. The bells have stopped ringing by the time you get up here. You can see that the front doors are closed. They're wood. They're etched in the likeness of some robed figure who's kind of looking benevolently out beyond you to the village. What do you do?
I march towards it.
Just going in?
With purpose, yes.
I follow behind her.
I follow suit.
I will follow, but as we approach, I've not been in a church this side of the world. Is there anything I need to know that I should be not doing or should be doing? I don't want to offend.
Just be yourself. Mm-hmm.
That's what usually gets me in trouble, but I'll give it a go.
And just be, a good, caring person and show empathy.
I've got that covered. Okay.
Yeah.
Before we go in, I do raise my cowl and put it over my head.
Okay. That's fair. Let me just get this down to the right spot. Okay. You push the doors open, and I mean, they open easily. There's no, groaning on the doors. The hinges seem well oiled. Where is my description on the church? Okay. Right inside, there's sort of a, I don't know if it would be called a foyer. Isn't that only in a house? It's not quite a lobby, but it's basically a lobby. It's a large open room. You can see that there is a coat closet, which is open. There's maybe 1 or 2 cloaks hanging in it. And to either side are open, large double doors that seem to lead into some kind of chapel or cathedral area. The lobby, we'll call it, that you're in, I'm sure there's a room for it, and it's going to drive me insane until I find out what that room would be called. There's only 1 or 2 people in here. They look to be farmer types, and they're there looks to be a farmer and maybe his wife or a sister or someone. They're just kind of quietly talking, but they both stop talking and are looking straight at you, kind of staring as you all enter.
I'll wave at them.
They do not wave back.
This is clearly a church of
Archael?
Archael, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Definitely.
Okay. And from...
Go ahead.
The person in charge, would that be the canoness? Is that the religious person in charge?
The canon or
Father
canoness?
Terrison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most recently, you were informed Father Terrison is in charge of this place.
That's right, Father Terrison. Okay.
Who would be a
let's,
priest.
Lean back and kind of hug the walls a little bit. Just, yeah.
Is there any artwork on the walls, or?
Yes, actually there
stuff?
is. So in this chamber, it's not too much. But there are sculptures in alcoves on either side of the room, both depicting a man in robes with sort of a compassionate look and a sort of a trimmed beard, very very pristine. Not quite a military look, but sort of the Obi-Wan Kenobi look, if you know what I'm talking about.
Is there anything that depicts either scenes of battle or
Not in this
sailing?
chamber. Not in this
Okay.
chamber.
Ithri wants to keep an eye out for that kind of thing. So.
Okay.
Would I, upon seeing that, would I know that that's him, or is that somebody in particular?
You can make a religion check if you.
Would I? I mean, I think I would probably know that.
But yeah, I mean, I would say just the basics. You would definitely know that's a depiction of Archael.
I would. Okay, then I'm just
Nice.
gonna go over to him and point it out. That's Archael.
Do we see some kind of symbol that was left behind the body? Anything that resembles that?
The purity symbol.
Make a perception check.
$16.
16. Yeah, actually. On the front doors walking in, as well as on each set of open double doors that lead into the cathedral proper, you can see that symbol above, like kind of above the door, like on the, what do you call it, the lintel? Is that the term?
The archway.
Keystone?
Yeah, there you go, keystone. Thank you. You can see that symbol.
Is that not the symbol that was found on Cyril's forehead?
Yeah, it was.
Interesting.
And this statue dude, that's the guy you pray to? This is your
That's Archael. Yeah.
he's the guy that he's the god that
Is he your
You-
deity?
yeah.
He's mine.
Okay. What does he do?
I mean, what doesn't he do? He's the god of all things just good. He's the
Oh.
god of heaven.
Okay.
He's showing empathy,
Big
being a
job.
good person, just
Okay.
everything good and right in this world. He has a hand in.
Cool.
Well then, shall
Yeah,
He's
he's
not
pretty
really sure
cool.
what to do with that. Like
He's pretty cool.
he's just a god of good.
And an
Which is
interesting
good.
note, E3. In your homeland, Archael is not really acknowledged or venerated.
Yeah, I think Ithri would would realize that, but not disrespect people believing in other deities.
Okay.
Just kind of wants to understand, because obviously the dwarven gods tend to have almost job roles. So it's just kind of a god of good is a bit odd. But yeah, cool.
Shall we find this Father Terracin?
Yeah. And I will head inside.
I'll follow your lead.
So, moving into the cathedral itself, it's much wider and more open. Now, mind you, this isn't the biggest cathedral you've ever been to. It is just a village cathedral, but the ceiling is maybe 40 feet up, and you can see that there are what do you call that? Well, I guess isn't it cathedrals? No, it's what do you call that? The domed ceiling.
Cupola?
Vaulted?
Vaulted, thank you. I don't know why I'm brain farting on that so much today. Vaulted ceiling, which is itself a fresco of a sun shining through a bright blue sky. You can see that there are also depictions of angelic figures kind of at the corners around the vaulted ceiling, looking out down upon the congregation. There are 4 large columns which support the ceiling, and between them, row upon row of pews. There's only a smattering of people here and there who are seated, sitting quietly in prayer. There is an altar at the far end of this cathedral. It's small. You can see that there are some flowers set upon it. There is incense currently burning, and there's a strong smoky sense of that scent of that incense all about this entire chamber. It's much stronger in here than it was out in the lobby, and there's kind of an immediate it's very strong and cinnamony. You can see that there are some shut doors that look like they lead into maybe the priest's quarters or some storage areas perhaps or some such. And you can see that there is a wooden box on a pedestal immediately to the right, sort of against the wall between the 2 sets of double doors that go into this cathedral.
Like a collection box?
Yes, exactly like that.
I will go over to it and put some money in it.
Okay, and I was going to say, even as you guys enter, you can see that there is a man in clerical vestments. They're white robes with sort of a pale blue sash and a single, a second blue sash kind of worn vertically instead of horizontally across the belt. He wears visibly a holy symbol on his neck, though it is not the symbol of Archael. It is a symbol of a sun, like a sunburst. He starts moving from the altar immediately toward you, kind of with purpose.
Well, I put 2 gold in that collection box.
Okay. What do the others do?
Ithri's going to say quietly, do we have to pay entry here? What's that for?
Oh, no, I was just donating to the church. You don't have to.
Oh, okay.
I kind of take a few steps back
But it
and
is
be at the end of the group.
appreciated.
He approaches. He doesn't hold anything in his hands, but now that he's closer, you can see that he's younger, maybe 28 to 30, somewhere in that ballpark, like late 20s. He has shoulder-length black hair and kind of a neat little black goatee. No, just the goatee, though. Heaven's blessings upon you, children. I'm sorry, but we don't often receive visitors in this house of the gods. There's no service today. Is there some business I can help you?
Yes, we're actually looking to speak with Father Terracin.
What is the nature of...
Who's calling,
business?
please? We are doing some investigating. Uh-oh, I forgot his name.
Rutger?
Yes. For Rucker.
You are here on Rutger's business. Well, I am
Yes.
Father Callimore. I should be able to help you with that. If you'll step over this way, perhaps we may talk a little away from my parishioners.
That would be best. It's of a sensitive nature. If you have somewhere private, we could speak.
I have an office. And he'll take you to one of the closed doors and open it. It opens into a carpeted hallway, and you can see that there are 3 doors, 2 on the left, 1 on the right, and it ends at an open glass window. He stops at the first door on the left and opens it, takes you into sort of a warm, cozy little office. You can see that there is a mural on the wall depicting angels sing like a trio of angels that seem to be singing from a hymn book of some kind. E3, or no, I'm sorry, it was Therithiel. You also immediately notice that above this door too is the symbol of purity that you were looking for. He has a desk, and you can see that there is another holy symbol lying on the desk. Same one he's wearing. of a silver sunburst. He takes a seat behind the desk and gestures. There's some chairs kind of along the wall. Please, you may pull the chairs up to the desk. Be seated. So,
I will do so.
what is the nature of this business? This investigation for Rutger, you said?
Yes. And her holy symbol is out and like clearly there, by the way.
He has noticed.
He has noticed this. She's trying to think of another way to ask if he did it and is taking a moment to do so.
I'm standing up and I take a step forward because I'm behind them. I say, Father Kellamore, as I'm aware, you already know that there was a murder in town.
I had heard that there was some affair going on outside of the inn. Though I'm
Yes.
afraid I don't know much of the details surrounding this event.
Well, Rutger put us in charge to try to investigate this murder. And all our inquiries led us here because upon the brow of Sorio, there was a purity symbol. And as I walked here into the church, it matches with the symbols around here.
I'm sorry, which symbol do you mean?
I'll take out my little journal I have and show him the symbol.
He glances at it. Ah, this is odd. This is very odd indeed. Well, I can tell you that this symbol is a symbol of consecration. It marks a being as, or it marks a location as sacred. You said this was upon the man's brow?
Mm-hmm.
Correct, yes.
That is odd. Was this man, was he a priest or a member of some clergy?
He wasn't, right? Like, we didn't see any
No.
symbols or anything?
To our knowledge, he was sort of a historian figure.
Yeah.
Also accused of being a tree blood.
Member of the Old Faith, then.
Accused of. I mean, I didn't see him practice any such thing, really.
I see. That is very strange, then. As far as I understand, a person cannot be consecrated. So I do not understand why he would be marked with that symbol. Even in death, perhaps one wanted to consecrate his body, but if he were marked as a member of the Old Faith, this does somewhat contradict. I understand why you're here now. You fear that a member of my church may have done such a thing. I'm happy to inform you that such would be impossible. No good Archaean would declare the body of a member of the Old Faith as consecrated, I assure you.
Well, can I share my theory with you? I think someone wanted to frame the church in this.
It does seem to be the case. That would make sense.
Do you have anybody who is upset with the church in town or with a member of the church?
Ha. Well. There are certain...
Somebody with murderous tendencies?
No one in Hummelbank is murderous, I assure you. That's not how the people here behave.
Forgive me, Father, but you're wrong. That someone here has murdered.
He's right.
Have you already ruled out all of the visitors at the inn. The
We
place
have
does attract
spoken-
a certain type of crowd.
We have spoken with them. We don't believe they have committed this atrocity.
Well, I have spoken for many years with my congregation, and I don't believe any of them will have done this.
Is anybody particularly upset lately about anything?
To my knowledge, not to this extent, no. I would have to speak with Father Terryson to confer and ensure
Is he
that doesn't-
around today?
He, I'm afraid, does not meet with visitors save on special circumstance. That is, after all, why I am here, to see to the day-to-day affairs, while Father Terryson can attend the matters of...
I would
our
consider
God.
this beyond a day-to-day affair.
Make a persuasion check.
This seems like a extraordinary
I was going to say the
affair.
same.
A what? Persuasion?
Mm-hmm.
With assistance? I got 18.
I feel like no one was really backing you up on that particular argument.
Oh,
that
I
point.
just rolled with disadvantage on accident.
Oh, well, don't do that. No, it'd be a regular
Sorry.
roll. But 18,
I mean, you still roll pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best roll we had, I think.
I do not want to see the Church of Archael slighted. Therefore,
Oh, I don't either.
I suppose it may be in the best interest that I speak with Father Terryson and find out if he is willing to meet with you.
That would be wonderful.
Would you be willing to wait here for a few moments?
Here in your office?
Yes. I will return
Sure.
in just one moment. Do you require any...
One question before you head out.
Yes.
And forgive my ignorance, I'm foreigner, as you could probably tell. I don't know how far-reaching your faith is, and I don't know its history. Is there any history within the Church of Archael of consecration or actions against perceived tree bloods being thought of as a positive influence within the church? My theory being maybe someone has come across some history and has mistaken how they should behave.
Well, I must admit I'm far more versed in the history of the Church of Halos than of Archael, but to my knowledge, no, this is the way things have always been, at least in Saragarda.
Okay.
We are a faith of tradition, and it does not do to change these traditions frivolously, not when the language of our God is involved. Something as sacred as consecration. It is more than just words. It is more than the bread and wine and blood and prayer that marks it. It is the very essence of Archael. We do not mark things frivolously, not even in good faith.
Okay, I'll bear that in mind.
If you would like to learn more about Halos and Archael, I would be happy to educate you. We do offer some classes every month here, if you would be staying in Hummelbank. And there are other outsiders who you might be able to discuss philosophy with. You are, of course, welcome. All of you.
We appreciate that.
I will
Awkward silence.
return shortly. And he steps out, leaving you kind of in the quiet office alone.
Ithri, I could teach you a lot about Archael if you want to know.
Um,
In fact, I have a couple books with me.
I'm not really a book kind of guy.
Oh,
Maybe if we stay as a group long enough, then I'd be interested in hearing your philosophy. I do have my own traditions.
that's fair. She will just sit quietly and not go through his desk at all and not go through any of his things.
Does that go for everyone?
Go through his stuff.
Attempted. Yes,
I stay seated.
I walk around the room, just hugging the walls, and I come upon his desk and I just poke around a little.
Okay.
I look around at the many artworks that are on the walls and statues.
Okay, and I would assume it's what you'd expect. Like the statues and the artwork are very cliche church, if you know what I mean. Lots of angelic imagery and motif. In the desk, you find that there's only actually 2 drawers, one of which is locked. The other, you find a little bit of thread and some needles, some candles, a flint and steel. I'm sorry, a tinderbox probably. There's a couple holy iconography or icons. There's a miniature textbook that, like, opening it, it looks like it's some kind of holy text for the faith of, it looks like Halos. There is also a holy symbol of Archael in here, just like the one Cora wears.
Nothing of interest. I close the desk back up and continue walking around the room back to where I was standing originally.
Okay. And did you want to try anything with the locked drawer, or are you...
I don't think I have anything to pick it with, so I jiggle a little bit, see if it opens, and then it's futile, so I just walk away.
Okay. All right. He comes back after maybe 2 minutes. Father Terryson will speak with you. If you'll come with me, I will take you to his... I guess it wouldn't be an office.
Chambers?
Chambers. I like that. I will take you to his chambers.
Giggity.
I need to learn my church room names out of practice.
I'll get up and follow him.
Okay.
Do the same. I guess we're all going out there.
Elowen, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you have anything that you like what you're wearing and carrying?
Yeah.
You look pretty standard traveler fare, right? It is not.
Yeah.
You don't have any like holy symbol or
No,
anything of that
I don't
nature.
know.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
He takes you actually to the very next door in the hall, and opening that up takes you into a much larger square chamber. It's carpeted. There's a fireplace, which is currently crackling right now. There are several open windows, and there's another door at the back of the room. You can see sitting in sort of I guess it's a love seat. There's a lot of like comfortable furniture. This isn't an office. This is more of like a comfort room, almost a lounge. Though you can see that there is a single shelf full of books. There are a couple of trunks which are all padlocked. There is a large mural. Jesus, it's been a day, I tell you. There's a large mural depicting the same bearded man that you've seen, but like much closer up and mighty, and like it's his chest up to his head. He's looking down upon the rest of the room, and he looks very regal and royal. And there, like, as his hands reach out, you can see that there's like a depiction of fruit and bread and wine coming from his fingertips. Seated at the love seat is an older man wearing similar robes to Father Calamore, though instead of blue sashes, he is wearing vestments of gold and platinum. And he rises to his feet when you enter, and Father Calamore Father Terracin, I will wait outside. Yes, thank you. And Father Calamore closes the door, leaving you alone with this man. I am Father Terracin. I have come to understand the situation as Father Calamore tells it, that you believe our good church and people are being slandered by someone for the murder of... I'm sorry, he did not say the nature of the victim, only that he was staying at the inn. Where are my manners? I am Father Terracin, and he offers a hand to shake anyone who will.
Cora will just.
You're muted,
nod.
Ashlow.
I realized. I'd wait for Cora to go first.
Cora will kind of give a polite nod, bow, and say, "I'm Cora."
A fellow child of Archael.
Yes.
It is
Agree.
an honor.
Just hold a hand out. Does this guy look
Three.
like a big, like he could handle himself in a fight, or is he kind of?
You know, he looks a little past his prime, but sizing him up, he looks like at some point he probably could handle himself okay.
Then he'd probably get like a nod of respect and a firm handshake.
Yeah.
Elowen will look at him and say, "Nice to meet you."
Charmed, my dear.
I don't reach my hand, but I just give him a nod of the head.
And what do they call you? He's looking at Elowen and Thurithiel.
I'm Elowen.
Elowen. And
Thurithiel, father.
Thurithiel. Hang on a second. Quick, Okay. So, perhaps you could explain to me what this is all about. In your own words, I would rather hear it from you than Father Calamore.
Well, I suppose you'll find out who it was eventually. His name was Sorio of Selen.
Sorio of Selen. The name is not familiar to me.
I think he was pretty new in town.
Staying at the inn, that makes sense.
Yes. They found him this morning just outside the inn.
I see. And you believe him to be of the old ways?
Well, maybe. That's what whoever killed him sort of implied.
I see, and I am told he was marked with a symbol of consecration.
Mm-hmm. And above him was written, "Tree blood."
How awful. I will not deny that there is little love between our faiths, but I believe none of my flock would show such violence, even to one of that old religion.
Is anybody in town particularly vexed with any of your flock?
No. Well... It can be, perhaps, difficult to accept when one's flock go astray, but poor would be the shepherd who leaves them unsupervised or denies them that the wolves might have them. I admit there is some contention between those in town clinging to the old ways and our faith.
Go on.
There has been some rather public displays of petulance, poor manners between those of Joroth's congregation and my own, but it has never reached a point of violence. It has always been insults like you've seen yourself, calling them tree blood, or some of the younger farmers, lads, after they've had too much to drink, having an altercation. Never anything that could have led to this. I do not believe there is a single member of my congregation who would turn to murder. It is not the way of Arkale.
And you say Jaroth's congregation?
Yes, Joroth is the leader of the druidic faith in town.
Okay.
He is perhaps obsolete these days. His position is not as revered as it once was. I suppose he has not taken well to this, but as they say, history marches inexorably onward, doesn't it?
Could you see him lashing out in anger or violence?
I do not like to think he would do such a thing. Certainly not to one of the old faith. They are misguided, not wicked, as some would have you believe. They are not bad people. Many of them are contributing members of our society. They have much to give. I like to think that in their ways, in their worship of what they believe to be trees, twigs, and berries, I believe they also venerate Arkale, though they know it by another name. They are misguided, but they are not so different from us.
Elowen looks down at her feet and stands there for a minute and looks back up towards him.
Can I do like a sense motive on him?
Yeah.
To just a general.
Yeah,
like,
go ahead. Insight.
Being pretty honest and,
Mhm.
or yeah, insight. Sorry. So I used a Pathfinder. That's a 22.
22. You get a sense that he's a little full of himself. And you get a pretty... He's trying real hard to be good, but you get the vibe that, like, there is a concealed condescension when he speaks about the old faith and the druidic religion. You get a vibe that, like, he doesn't really take them seriously, and that maybe he's sort of doing that thing where, like, you really don't like somebody, so you just talk about, oh yeah, they're so nice, I love them, they're great, they're really nice. Like, you know, like, he's sort of compensating for he doesn't have anything good to say about them, so he's overdoing it.
Gotcha. So, could you maybe tell us who was the most of your flock just like angry, outspoken when these
My
altercations would
congregation?
happen? Yes.
I really couldn't tell you. None. My congregation does not behave in the ways you're describing. I understand what you're looking for, young lady. I do. But I believe that if one of my people did this, they would also confess. If they did this, they would do so in the belief that it was the right thing to do, not as a means of petty vengeance or whatever else motivates such unpleasantness.
Father, of your congregation, you don't believe any would give out such aggressive actions. Is there any of your flock that seemed to receive a lot of tension or aggression from people of the old faith?
Oh yes, I suppose that is true. Yes, there
Do
are.
you have anyone who was particularly put out or particularly targeted?
Well, hang on, sorry, looking through my names.
Maybe someone was reacting on their behalf.
I apologize.
That's all right.
I have labeled every person in town who is Old Faith versus not, but I didn't come up with a way to organize them, so I just literally have to go through, like, who are they? What are they?
No.
I need to adjust that for next time. Noted.
The joys of having NPCs ask silly questions.
I suppose there is Raja Moto. He is a widower, and he has had some unpleasantness from some of the members of the Old Faith, especially from the Merrick farm. They've had struggles, but as far as I know, their struggles were never about faith, but were more the squabbles of neighbors.
Yeah. There was a drunk man in the inn last night that Ithri winked at and wandered past. Did I can't remember if Ithri found out his name.
Yes,
I remember he was a
the one.
farmer.
He was recommended to you as someone to talk to about adventure.
He wasn't from Merrick Farm, was he?
He was not. He was from the Hestia farm. That was Elmore.
Just wanted to check that wasn't linked. Maybe we can speak to Roger and see if there's anything he knows, any particular aggressors. I don't know, I'm kind of lost.
Perhaps this Jurith druid might be a good source of information as well.
I agree.
I would encourage you to speak with him. Duros is, well, if nothing else, it might do him some good to get out of his trees and see what the people of Hubblebank want and are like. He is very reclusive. It would be good for him to see the new world a little bit. And he is an amicable sort, more or less. I'm sure he would be happy to help you and could point you to if there's anyone acting strangely in his own flock.
I think that's a good lead. You guys good to go?
Yeah, let's head out.
Thank
You'll
you for your
find
time,
him
Father.
in the grove in the center of town. He has a little hut there. For now.
I'd also like to ask you about, Elia.
What about her?
Well, she disappeared 2 months ago.
Yes, it was tragic. No one knows what became of her, the Canoness.
Can you tell me what happened? Like the last time you saw her? Like,
Well, yes. It was right after that town meeting. They were all there, all of us. Rutger, Byrne, the captain of the local militia, the mayor, Jaroth, Father Callamore, myself, Gundagoot, Brother Smythe, all of us. It was, forgive me, I can't very well remember the topic, but the Canoness was quite passionate about wanting to cut off trade with the village of Noct. We spoke after the town meeting. I encouraged her to get some rest. She was stressed, and as my direct superior, I was concerned for her health. She agreed. She returned to her quarters here at the church. I returned to mine. And that was the last time I saw her.
What was the problem from the town? The town of Noct, did you say?
yeah, why did
Yes.
she put off trade?
It comes up every now and again. A great deal of ruffians from Noct. I'm afraid after the conflicts of the past, they didn't adjust well to this new age of peace. I suspect that we will make some headway, though. I have done my best to honor Canoness Ilia's wishes and have begun a missionary program. We are sending some of our finest young priests and brothers and sisters to Noct periodically to spread the word of Archael, Halos. I believe we'll get through to them sooner or later.
There wasn't anyone specifically that she was
No,
disagreeing with?
not
from
that I
Okay.
recall. Though, as I said, my memory is a little fuzzy. It was some months ago now. But it is not an uncommon problem. We get a lot of traffic through here coming from Noct. Many of them unsavory sorts. It would not surprise me if your murderer is from Noct. Staying at the inn, perhaps.
Are her quarters still intact? Or
I'm
were they
afraid
taken
not.
over?
They are my quarters now. I'm afraid there's only one set of High Priest's quarters, and when it became clear she was not coming back, I had to take her place.
Did she leave anything behind, like a diary or?
She left many possessions, nothing that indicated where she might be going, no diary or journal. At least, not that I found. Rutger and Byrne gave a thorough sweep of everything and went through there a handful of times before I ever entered the chambers. It is possible if something like that was found, they would be the ones to speak to.
I see. Well, thank you for seeing us.
Of course, for something this important, it was necessary. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, I don't think so.
Very well. Then I will begin preparing to care for the body. Such is the task of the priesthood.
And keep a close eye on your flock. I mean, hopefully this was just a one-time thing, but
My dear,
you know,
it is simply a matter of faith. Archaeo's blessings upon you all.
she'll leave.
I bow my head and go out the door.
Same.
As Elowen walks towards the door, she looks towards him and nods politely and says, "Thank you, Father."
He'll smile pleasantly and nod back. And then outside, you can see Father Callamore is not like right at the door. He was keeping a polite distance, but was kind of waiting.
Be listening.
You've concluded your business with Father Terryson, then?
Yes.
Is there anything else the church can do to aid in your investigation?
Not right now, I don't think.
Very well. Then he'll kind of gesture like he's going to follow you guys toward the door back out to the cathedral.
I walk out.
What do you guys want to do now?
I follow.
What you guys going to do now?
Once we're outside, Ithri would say, so we have a crazy, according to these guys, crazy loner in a park, or a lonely old man on a farm.
I think we should talk to the druid.
Garrus.
Duras?
Roth.
Correct. That one.
Yeah, maybe we should follow that lead.
Yeah.
Alwyn, maybe.
See what he has to say.
Maybe you could talk to him alone. If he's a loner, us four approaching
Yeah.
him might.
You might get a little bit startled and not know what to say.
Why her?
It was a presumption. I'm sorry. I believed you were of a similar faith.
Oh, are you?
I am.
Oh.
Sorry, it's not something that's obvious about me.
I mean, that's perfectly okay. I didn't know.
Well, now you do.
Well, perhaps if Elwyn would go speak to Jarath, we can go speak to Roger.
The party.
I
As
don't
long
think
as-
we should leave her alone that much. I mean, what if he's mean?
Yeah,
Maybe one person could come with me.
I'm happy to go. I think even if you enter on your own, we should stay in shouting distance. Or we could split into pairs. Whatever you feel is best.
I think this idea of pairs will keep
I
us
think it's
both
a safer
safe.
option.
Yes.
Definitely.
If that's what you guys want to do, split the party.
So
Well,
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
We can all go and just stay close in hand. If fellow wants to feel safe of going in there by herself and talking to Giraffe, or perhaps we could convince Giraffe to come out and speak to us out in the open.
Well, I don't want to alarm him either, so.
No, I think if we stay together, I don't want any of us alone with any potential murderer. That sounds like a bad idea. We stick close by. If Elowen is happy to speak to him alone, if you prefer some backup, Elowen, I look good in the background.
I mean, I'm happy to speak to him alone, but it'd be nice to have somebody with me, just in case I need a bit of backup.
I'll stick right beside you.
Thank you.
Let's go to the park.
Let's go.
As you guys start to leave the churchyard, I'm going to actually cut over now to not very far away. Okay,
Right.
so coming from the east road are two travelers. Currently, you're walking through kind of a wooded stretch of road. There are trees both to the right and left of you. At one point, as you round a curve, you can see a deer standing in the middle of the road. It looks at you and then darts into the trees, disappearing from sight. You can hear birds, crickets, insects. Unfortunate. So, you've had kind of a shitty trip. Yesterday, you were attacked by bandits. Too many to fight, but enough that you were not skilled enough that they could kill you, but too many that you'd be able to just stand and wipe them out. So you guys were kind of forced to go cross country a little. It got a little rough. It was fine. You handled it. It could have been worse. Then this morning, there was the ogre. Again, not really something you were prepared to just duke it out with. But you had a watch during the night. You weren't caught off guard. It was just before you were basically about to have breakfast when, oh, something's coming. You got off the road, and then an ogre lumbered by, found your camp, was too stupid to recognize what it meant, but saw, ooh, breakfast, and ate your breakfast.
Sucks.
I'm a light eater, it's fine.
I am going to say that one of you may add 2 arrows to your inventory that got stuck in your clothes from near misses from that bandit assault.
I'll just take that.
Mm-hmm.
But the downside, you also have some holes now in your travel garb. And I will say, if you had the arrows that were just stuck in your clothes from the near misses, then I'm gonna say, Crep, you got nicked pretty good and have a still healing scratch on your upper left arm.
Okay.
But that's, I mean, all things considered, it could have been worse. You're alive. You're fairly uninjured. I mean, what's a little sting for like 2 days. But at long last, you are through with that journey. You're on the road. Or you're almost off the road. You're in the village. You can see, as you come out of the trees, 2 farmhouses on either side of the road, and a barn right behind one of them. You can make out other farms where the road kind of veers off to the south. You can see more barns beyond, and a small community center where you know is the heart of Hummelbank. You can see smoke wafting from a chimney that can presumably only be the blacksmith. And you can see a distant stone church steeple and the construction site on a hilltop kind of overlooking everything else. Now, you've been passing farms probably all morning since you first woke up. Like, this is farm country. But at long last, you're here. And as you're coming into town, Ava, would you please describe what your character looks like?
Okay. I can do that. My
Good.
face went red.
And you though.
You'll see a woman with, I would say she's on a shorter scale, maybe like roughly 5'2" to 5'4", but she carries herself as if she's 5'10", like upright and just tiny. She has mostly black hair, and in the front there is some golden, silver, shimmery hair. She has freckles that kind of shine in the light occasionally, and her eyes are golden, but with black spots in them. She has like mostly Asian attire. She looks very, I wouldn't say very, but slightly encumbered by just her collection of weapons on her.
Any of those weapons visibly apparent what they are?
She has a band of little needles on her arm, darts, and her bow, and I mean, you can see a sheath on a glance. It looks like a small sword or a dagger even. And then I don't know how to pronounce the other one. That's the one with the chain, right?
Yes, what that would look like would be an eastern sickle or a kama.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that to be on your hip, right? Like a lasso or something.
Yeah.
It would probably look like you have the part that it's hooked to would look like part of your belt. It would look like you're wearing like a chain around the waist.
Mm-hmm. But there is a sash and a red good luck charm.
Okay.
With all black clothing.
Do you wear a quiver of arrows, obviously?
Yeah. I think her hair would mostly hide that because it's really long.
Okay. That makes sense. All right. Well, what about you, Mr. Krepp?
So for me, you would see a man standing around 6 foot to 6'1" on a good day. He's wearing grey robes that are clasped and closed around his body at the moment, with it being early morning and being fairly cold. He has tan skin, grey shoulder-length hair with a grey beard. He wears an amulet on show around his neck and also a headband, both with a red gem. He is carrying a quarterstaff, currently using it as if it was just like a walking stick. So not looking menacing, but standing upright, not hunched. He is an old man, but he's lived a good life. So.
Okay. So kind of a pleasant demeanor, would you say?
He's got a smile on his face. Not a care in the world.
Though I would say as the two of you are walking in, probably there's a little rumbly of stomachs, given what became of your breakfast.
Tim, question. Would I notice just from walking in or down this road if any of these buildings are new? Would I know every building?
To be honest, nearly all of them weren't here the last time you were.
Okay.
Some of the older farmhouses, like, you might recognize, but like that inn is a completely new structure to the one. Like it must have been rebuilt from scratch. As you guys make your way past the first few farms and into the town center, and you see the blacksmith, you would see that this structure also is mostly the same, but it's been upgraded. There's a lot more stone to it now. The furnace is a lot fancier, and there is an elf working at it. You can see that there's some hubbub outside the front door of the inn. You would know it to be the only inn in town. What do you guys do?
So I'm going to walk. We're just walking down the street, and as we approach the inn, I would open the door and hold it open. And I would say, "After you, my dear."
Thank you.
And then walk inside.
Well, actually, I'm sorry. I just realized. We'll say you did that with the gate going into the inn's yard. Because actually, as you start to enter the inn, you find that there's sort of a little crowd of people outside, and there's a lot of bluster going on. And as you make your way to the front, you find a plump, black-bearded, black-haired man in an apron who's kind of like clutching a mug to his chest protectively. It's just for the one day only. It's closed. You can come in as soon as all of this business is wrapped up. It's not for long. We'll have you in by night. Just during the day. I'm sorry, but you'll have to stay somewhere else. What do you
I'm
do?
gonna look at Drakon. Just like
Oh yeah, Dracon is my name.
expectantly.
Dracon. Yeah, I walk up to the man, and I'll just tap him on the shoulder from behind, and I'll say, "Gondagoot."
Well, you look familiar. Where do I know that face?
Let's see if he can...
I was one of the founders. Me and my family. Oh, never mind. Did you notice me? Did you know who I am?
As you're saying this, it kind of dawns on him.
Oh, right. I remember you. You were friends with my pa, right?
Yes. Nikos is my father. Elias, my mother.
Yes. Well, I'm sorry. I hope you weren't coming for... Hope you weren't looking to get a room.
Apparently they're closed.
Why is that?
We're closed just for the day. There's, some funny business.
And he gestures to the tarp off to the side.
There was, nothing to get upset about. Just a little something that some contractors are looking into. It'll be wrapped up, all handled, and we'll get you rooms, some food. Obviously, I will take some coin off of everyone's bills. But we want to keep everything clear until this is wrapped up.
I would just walk straight up to the top and just look.
And as you're doing this, like, he's kind of, as he's talking, he's watching you go,
Off of the...
and one of the farmers who's supposed to be guarding, like, far to, like,
Oh, wait!
and you tear the tarp, and
I'll hover as well. When the guy comes to say wait, I'll like put a hand out to
there's a,
stop him.
from, like, the people gather around. And mind you, I say crowd. It's a crowd of, like, 6 people. It's not
That's
a big
a crowd. That's a crowd.
What
do I see, Tim?
You see a body. The body of a middle-aged man. Looks to be maybe half-elf? Hard to tell. If he's a half-elf, he's very human-leaning. Dark hair. Probably from a northern... Maybe from Korth. That is the annexed country to the north. He is in robes, and the back top half of his head looks to have been crushed inward, though he is just slumped as if seating comfortably against the wall. There is a bloody rune drawn on his forehead, and a single word, tree blood, drawn on the wall beside his head.
Okay, so I'd look back towards Gundagoot and I'd say, well, what's happened here?
The other farmer now is like pulling the tarp back, covering the body. Now there's like more people from across the town square who are like, what's going on? What's that? Kind of coming to
What's
look.
going on over here, guys?
One of them,
Gundagoot, fix this! No, you fix it! I'm gonna... Listen!
and he like grabs Dracon and like pulls you in close.
Listen! We're not supposed to be talking. This is supposed to be kind of kept in the dark. It's a... Well, you can see what it is.
You can't keep it in the dark when he's laying in the middle of the road.
It's being looked into. Rutger said we have to leave it until the contractors are sure they're done with it.
May I lift the tarp just a little bit to see if I can assess what...
Yeah.
So the two guys who are there are gonna try to interfere. Like they're not just gonna let you. So you're gonna have to make a persuasion check, or you're gonna have to do something to convince them because they're like now, like trying to.
I was going to ask her to come over to have a look as well. So if I could have made some sort of check with that first glance before I was moved away as well, to see if I can glean any information.
I would say you probably didn't have enough time with the first glance.
Okay.
If you can get a better look at it, you are certainly welcome to do so, though.
Okay.
Excuse
I'll
me,
just stand
I
next to Gundagoot.
specialize in this.
Make a persuasion check. Or, well, it is true. So yeah, make a persuasion check.
Where's persuasion?
I can see things. I just say.
Rutger's gonna hear about this later.
What'd you get?
Junko, what do you see?
Oh, I got 11. Sorry, I
What do
forgot
you
I hadn't
see?
announced it.
Yep.
Oh. All right. Suit yourself. Not like I could stop you.
No, you couldn't.
Okay. So
Uh,
you they get out of your way and let you pull the tarp back while Osler.
All right, nothing to see here. I'm closing up the yard. Get out! 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 All of you! Out! Out!
And he's like shooing people away, and it's like trying to shoo a pool of water away with a bucket, but gradually the people are starting to make their way toward the gate. What did you want to look at in particular?
I wanted to see what would have, like, what kind of weapon or, like, maybe a bottle could have
Okay, medicine.
done this. Medicine?
Medicine.
Ooh. Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
human or humanoid physiology and anatomy is medicine.
15.
15. All right, so first of all, cause of death is the head being caved in. Second of all, it looks like the wound was made by some kind of a large, heavy object. Third of all, actually, as you're like looking closer and like really examining that wound, you find evidence that no, not one heavy object, two. One looks like something struck him but didn't kill him, and then it looks like the second was by like a staff or a club or a cudgel or a cane or something. Something like a blunt weapon of some, maybe a mace or a hammer. Something of that nature.
What do you see, Junko?
He got hit twice. Cane,
Oh, no.
hammer, something small.
I'm gonna start prodding the body with my quarterstaff.
Did you
Does it
want
fit?
Poke it.
Actually,
I'm not gonna poke the wound.
Wait, I'm gonna take it and like measure the size of his quarterstaff and the blunt force trauma.
It does look like a staff, like the business end of a staff could have done this.
It wasn't me.
Is the
know.
top of your staff adorned with anything, or is it just plain wood?
Just plain.
Okay.
It's got like a metal like cap, but other than that, nothing.
I know it wasn't you.
I mean, if this was a staff, though, it must have really, like, it looks like it would have been quite a large staff head.
Mm.
Is there any law enforcement in and around the area?
Make a history check. The other 4, these are probably some familiar questions, huh?
Yeah.
1. So
Ooh.
7 in total.
7? You're not really sure. You're not really sure. You, the last time you were out here, no, there was no law at all, but that was how many years ago?
A long time ago.
The last you heard was that some heroes from the old conflict were going to be given supervision of the town.
Okay.
That's really the extent of what you know.
So like an armed militia. Would there be any in the vicinity though? Like if I look
I mean, there's the
around,
2 guys who were protecting it, but they both look like
just farmers.
farmers with spears they don't know how to use.
Okay.
Do you have an apple? Not you.
Oh.
I'm talking to the farmers and the
I ate
innkeep.
it.
Oh, innkeep.
Yeah, I have fruit. Oh,
Can I have one?
yes, I'll go get some.
He'll head into his inn.
Can I look through this guy's clothing, belongings, to see if I see anything, Tim?
Yes. Now,
Have a
correct me
little
if I'm
rummage.
wrong. Other 4, you guys actually took the satchel, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay. You find that he has a sheath for a dagger. Though you guys also took the dagger, right?
Yes.
Okay. No dagger in it.
Did we not take the-
Somebody has already
Cora
taken
took
these
everything.
items.
No pouches, no money, no bag, no possessions.
Okay.
Getting an apple. I don't care.
Why do you want an apple?
So I can eat it.
Can I have half?
I think your friend would give you an apple too. But
I
yes,
just stand
if he
there
does
like
not.
looking.
After like not even a minute, he comes back with actually 2 apples.
I'll polish it on my shirt and go.
Yeah, and like one of them is pretty fresh. The other is like starting to maybe have a little. It has some age spots on it.
I'll
A
take the
couple
age
brown
spot one
spots.
for him. I don't care.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else?
Thank you. And then I just start munching on the
Okay.
apple.
At this point, ye other 4. At about this point, you have just come into the town center, and you can actually see Osler Gundagut. You can see that there are 2 strangers. I mean, you've seen a few strangers at the inn, so that's probably not so shocking. But you see 2 strangers with Osler at the body. You can see that they seem to be examining the body. They are unfamiliar to you. You can see that there is now a crowd kind of gathered around the gate into the inn's yard, which is now shut. It was not shut at any point that you have seen thus far. And
Do
this
you-
would be kind of right across from the grove.
Do you think Rutger got more people to investigate? Are we not being good enough, detectives?
I mean, we don't know who did it yet.
Well, it's only been like 12 hours.
Yeah, I don't know if there's like a time limit on these things. I've
Perhaps-
never needed to do this before. Maybe we could ask them.
Perhaps something new was found from the body. We should probably go investigate.
Maybe. Osler looks a little stressed.
You know, as you start getting close, that's when you hear me say, "It wasn't me."
It was
Wait, you haven't
Did you kill
insulted
him?
yet.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, I guess we'll approach as a group.
Okay.
No, you stay out. You two. Actually, you can come in. Thank God you're here.
Hi, Mr.
Listen,
Gundagoot.
listen. These two with you?
Yes.
No, to be clear, he's about like 20 feet away from you guys right now. He's just kind of like leaning into
Okay.
them. He's like,
You were just
Are
like,
they with you?
Who's with me? Who's with me?
I just showed up and started looking at the body. I think one of them's. He's from around here, but I wasn't
Perhaps,
sure.
perhaps Rutger asked him to help us in the investigation.
I don't think so.
I've taken my book out, Tim, and I'm just writing down notes about
Okay.
the body.
did you want to make an investigation check on it?
If possible, please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Check under the fingernails.
If you're doing that, you can also do investigation if you'd like.
22.
But you don't really need to. You can save your time. Because he's got it. We'll assume it's... You know what I should have done, actually? I should have had him roll
Advantage?
with advantage. Yeah.
I can re-roll.
Just roll a second one, yeah, and see if it's even better than 22.
Okay.
Since the two of you are tag teaming this, I forgot that's a thing.
Mhm.
I've been playing too much Pathfinder.
This is why I tried to call her over before.
How come we never
Funny.
rolled this good?
It was
I
18
don't
the
on
second, so
investigation.
22. 22 being the highest.
Okay.
we
I'm
know.
pretty sure we
We know.
could add all of you guys' investigation results together and probably get around 22.
Yeah, we didn't roll
No.
good. We rolled really
Terrible.
bad.
It was
What,
bad.
I had 2 natural ones? Was it?
Yep.
No. Dice left me.
Okay, so yeah, you are finding some things right out the gate as the both of you examine him. You find the purification symbols. Obviously, I'm not going to spend too much time on that since you guys, as players, obviously already heard it.
Yep.
You also discern that the body didn't die like this. It didn't fall naturally into this position. Someone clearly placed it like this.
So it was set up.
Yes. And positioned. It's likely it was positioned before the rune was drawn on it or the word was put on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
You also find that there is almost no blood under the body in spite of such a vicious head wound, so this is unlikely where the person was killed. They were likely brought here from somewhere.
Yep.
Potentially cleaned up first, since there's not a giant blood trail either. Third,
Are there any heavy boot prints?
well, it's funny you should mention that. When you look at the guy's boots, you find that the boots are covered in dust, top and bottom. And you find some of that dust under the fingernails, as well as a little bit on his clothing and robes.
So,
And at this
Well-
point, you are kind of pulled from what you're doing as, I'm going to say, ye other four, you are in now. You're all in
Hey.
the same
Right.
place.
Are you
Cora,
guys
that-
detectives?
That guy's got ink.
Hello,
Ooh.
hello. Ooh, what's ink?
Are you guys detectives?
No, I am Dracon.
crunch, crunch, crunch. And I'll shake my head no.
Should we describe ourselves for them, or do they kind of already know?
You guys can refer to the pictures in the journal for them, I would say, for
Okay.
this. But, I mean,
Okay,
you
that's
see,
fine.
in general, just approaching you, a dwarf, a cloaked figure who is very tall and gangly, and
Lanky
two... I guess, actually, both of the ladies are kind of dressed, not the same, but close, in similar garb, both in travel garb, one of whom has a holy symbol of Archael worn openly. That would be the one who was asking you.
And something you can't really see in the picture because I couldn't find that kind of thing. She has one blue eye and one orange eye. But her hood is up also.
Would I be able to discern what race you are?
Make a nature check.
Nine.
Human.
Okay.
Though the different colored eyes is very striking.
So if you aren't detectives, why are you so interested in this body?
I like beds to sleep in.
I'm a curious
And I got
fellow.
the apple. Crunch.
Apple.
So you're looking at the body in exchange for food and a bed to sleep in?
No bed was offered. I'm good at
Well,
spotting things. So I thought I'd have a look.
Mr. Gundagoot has the best beds. I'm sure he'd give you one.
He said there was no beds.
I look at him.
And he's back at the gate.
We'll be opening up again tonight. Later tonight. You just have to wait. Wait until the business is done. We're
He kind of glances back.
cleaning.
Oh, cleaning.
Mind you, again, he's like 20 feet away at the gate right now.
So I'd stand up from my like kneeling position and take in notes, and I would go to each of you and just shake your hand. Hello, 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 hello. I am Dracon.
She won't shake your hand. She'll just, yes, hello.
Yeah, I'd put it out and just expectantly.
Hey,
She's not taking it.
I'll take it. Ithri.
Hello, Ifri.
Hi.
Hi.
You get to me, I pull back my cowl. I just give you a nod and say Thurfiel.
And you'd see visibly an elf.
You get to me and I nod politely and say, "Hello, I'm Elowen.
Hello, Elowen, my dear.
Nice to meet you."
And who might you be, good sir?
I am Dracon. I am traveling down here from Vigamount with my new friend here,
I was going to say,
And then
you?
and I motion over to.
I know.
I am Junko. Hello.
I nod my head at Jinko and Thurfiel.
Who's this lady?
Were you pointing at?
You.
Or
Oh, I'm Cora.
Cora.
Yeah. Cora.
Thurfiel, yes.
Ithri.
Okay.
I just whisper into Junko's ear. I'm never going to remember the elf's name.
You know you're like leaning down like this, right?
Hey, he might be
are you
short
both,
or hunched.
Are you both human?
I am human, yeah.
They both.
Just an old man.
You look human, right?
Yes.
We're human, yeah.
So, we're sort of in charge of finding out what happened to this dude. So,
Are you law enforcement?
are you? I was going to ask you the same thing. Are you from
No,
Rutger?
no. Who's Rutger? Would I know who Rutger is, Tim?
By if someone mentioned the name, probably. You know what? Make a history. I missed it? Did someone say Rutger's name?
I said Rutger.
Okay,
He
then you can
just
make a
said it
history check.
Also,
23.
Dracon, did you
Yes, you know.
say that the body wasn't killed here, or did you just take note of that?
I was just taking notes.
Well,
But I guess, no, I would have relayed that to you as you was with me.
right, and since you two were working with advantage, it's
Together,
assumed that you
yeah.
both figured. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
kind of a team.
Okay.
But
I
yeah,
got
you know
23 on that.
Rutger to be one of the two heroes who was given
To see.
the Hamlet
hmm
along with Byrne.
So I would know Byrne was here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you guys are like adventurers then?
No. Maybe.
Uh,
I was a teacher.
oh. What did you teach?
History.
Oh.
I'm just hired help.
Yes, I paid her.
You still have yet to pay.
She will get paid.
So like a bodyguard?
Yes.
Hmm,
We got attacked on the road, so thankfully I had help.
by bandits?
And almost an ogre.
Oh, me too. Not the ogre part, the bandit part.
I
Ogres are
got 2
stupid.
arrows.
I got a cut on my arm.
I mean, that's terrible, but we kind of need to deal with that. Otherwise, we're thrown in jail, I think. I don't really know what's going on.
Why would you be thrown in jail?
We might be suspects.
Oh. Just
I
laugh.
don't know that we're suspects. It's more just, it's the impression I got was they needed someone to blame this onto, and we're the newest outsiders.
I see. Did you notice dust under nails?
Did you notice that this body was placed here and there's no blood under the body?
That bit, yes. The dust.
Very
What?
dusty.
What kind of dust? Like,
I was going to ask you that, Tim. Would I be able to realize where this dust possibly could be from within the village?
Like
or...
wood.
Ithri would have asked, like, is it road
Is it
dust or is it
like stone?
Like
or...
stone
old
dust.
dust? Okay.
Are the roads around here similar in they would have that dust on it, or would it be from maybe a stonemason?
The roads here are dirt.
Okay.
In fact, the presence of a stonemason in this village is kind of laughable, considering every building except 3 are stone, and the stonemason is literally one of the 3. Though I would say you probably are aware that there's a stone castle currently in construction, which requires a fuck ton of stone.
Okay.
Ithri's got a really high intelligence, so he's going to say, is there a quarry around here?
Yes. There used to be. To the north.
Which direction? North?
Was he murdered in the quarry?
We could go and inquire.
I mean, we were just about to go chat to some guy about this.
Yeah, but exploring a quarry sounds more interesting.
That's
Does
true.
it?
We should do that.
And
Well, yeah, that's what an adventuring party would do.
Rutger's never not actually given us any sort of time frame.
How long
So,
have you guys
yes.
been on this?
A few hours?
Since breakfast.
Yeah, I think it's like noon now.
Who are you going to speak to?
We were on our way to speak to Jareth, the druid.
Giraffe.
Jareth.
You think?
Giraffe.
You think?
Giraffes.
You think the druids?
Giraffe.
Giraffes, yeah. I had giraffes.
You think the druids have something to do with this?
Well, I mean, with the symbol there, and it could be.
I mean, the tree blood implies it was an insult. I don't think a druid would have done that.
No.
But maybe the game plan was to try and find out if there was any animosity towards druids from the locals.
Pretty
As
much
far
looking for information.
druids have always been looked down upon in Seragada. They follow the old faith.
Yeah,
The old faith is frowned upon here, and magic to do with druidic magic. Who told you to speak to this druid?
The church.
Ah,
That seems a little
Father Terracin.
on the tip of the nose. Why would the druid kill someone that also study old magic?
and then put a symbol of Archael on his head.
No. We were going to speak to Geras to see if anyone had been particularly aggressive towards any of the druid community.
Oh.
We weren't blaming Geras. We thought he might have information.
No, but the church is. Possibly.
They didn't blame anybody. They just suggested
were
we
very
talk to more
defensive.
people.
Tim, I'm gonna get the apple seeds out of my apple and hold on to them.
I see. Noted.
I also see.
DC.
I guess I would see this also, and I would just hand her the core of my apple.
No, I meant like Ashley understands.
Oh, I understand also, but I would just hand her the core and say, "Here,
She's Johnny
here you go."
Appleseed, right?
Junko apple seed.
Junko Appleseed.
I'll fish his out too and give him back the core because I don't want it.
Take your
just throw it on the floor.
garbage.
Okay.
I just know that there has been tension between the church and the druids for a long time now.
They told us that too.
Putting blame on one or the other seems to make sense to me. But if you feel like this druid could glean some light on the case, then there's no harm in questioning.
He could, but I'd rather go to the quarry.
This man could be from the quarry. Yes. But is he just a victim of a broader crime?
Well,
Bait,
we did inspect the body, and he still had all his belongings with him when we found him here. So if it was a robbery, they didn't take anything that we noticed.
We also know he was trying to steal stuff from the wizard. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he was set up or was punished for not completing a job.
Putting the body in open view, moved here, just seems a bit too planned for me.
Well, they wanted to make a statement or use him to frame somebody.
Yes. Which is why it's funny to me that the church are possibly blaming the druids. But you say he had stolen stuff from the wizard.
That's Mr. Byrne.
Maybe we
Yes.
shouldn't. I mean, should we be discussing this with people we don't know?
Oh,
No, you shouldn't.
Should we not?
No.
We're really
No.
bad.
Guys,
at this.
I'm
But
not used to being a detective.
You guys,
Neither.
you guys did find out about the dust stuff. Are you good at detecting?
Are you smart?
We've sort of
I
been thrust
I-
into this without option, but we
I
take any help we can
mean,
get.
I
You're
am
new in
very
town,
smart.
so
I'm very smart, and my new friend here, Junko, is also quite smart.
I wouldn't say I'm smart. I'm just
She has her talents.
precisely.
I think we all have our talents, just not at this. Looks around at the group like, I've got
I
a
mean-
hammer.
Looks at him in agreement.
Well,
I
you
mean-
seem really knowledgeable about the town. You could at least go to the quarry with us.
Oh, I was part of the founding family for this town.
Can we walk and talk?
Oh, sure.
Wait, so are we going to the quarry or are we going to the druid? We're going to the quarry first.
I would say quarry first, yes.
Okay.
If
If
I know
you're
technically
willing
well-
to try and look at the place to see if you could find where he was killed, if you're good at detecting. I don't want to drag you into this. I mean, I do want to drag you into this because that would make it easier for me. But
I don't know if he was murdered within the quarry, just that he worked or was possibly in the area.
I saw the guy the night before he was murdered. He didn't look like he'd worked a day in his life.
I don't think he worked in the quarry, at least.
Oh, okay. Out of character, I still feel like it might be worth, like, can't remember her name. Elowin, and perhaps somebody else going to speak to the druid, just to cover bases.
Go.
I think out of character. I don't think the plan is to stop going to see the druid. It's just
No,
we want to
just
do
in which
Quarry
order.
first.
Yeah.
'Cause that's new information.
Yeah, that since that
And-
came out the information, yeah.
Ithri feels like the church is just kind of being like, go talk to someone else. Here's the
Okay.
thing. New information.
Let's go to the quarry then.
If you guys are okay with that, I mean,
I
Yeah.
mean, I
If you-
didn't plan on starting an investigation in this town on a murder, but
neither
you're
did
sure.
we. Yeah.
That makes all of us.
The sooner we can get it sorted, the sooner we can get you a night at the inn. If that's what you're looking for.
Are you okay with helping Junko?
Well, you still haven't paid me, so this is extra.
But if we solve this, then there's more money, and that's payment from somebody else, not me.
You still have to pay me.
Oh, guys, are we getting paid for this?
I was gonna say Ithri's like, just FYI,
We
we're
are.
not getting paid. We're just not getting.
We're just not getting arrested.
executed.
Wait,
Wait,
But-
hold on. There was payment. I could have swore there was payment.
Was there?
you were solving a crime for no payments? You
Well,
really
not going
are
to
amateurs.
jail is pretty good.
Yeah.
It's just
This
as
is
much
my-
as payment.
This is my first day out as an adventurer. I really didn't want to get arrested.
It seems like it's going well for you, Cora.
We need the
It's a
help.
bit rough.
I mean, how much were you charging a day as bodyguard duty?
Yeah, I don't know how much I technically have to pay her. This was
That's a
just something we
question.
figured out yesterday, so
Ava,
How much do you want?
What's your
How
going
much-
rate?
how-
what did you
how much-
charge Dracon?
yeah, how much do I have to
Oh.
give you?
I said that you can pay me what you see fit.
I mean,
Oh, it's one of those guilt trippy things.
Nah, I don't get guilt tripped into anything.
I mean,
I just,
Pear and apple seeds.
5
you do-
silver.
if you don't want to come to the quarry with us, I can guard bodies. I'm much better at that than I am at detecting.
I'm just an old man.
Or you can come with us, and maybe old
I will
man
help.
here will
I will help. I will
pay
help.
money.
I do need to DM you about something, Tim, but that can be after game
Okay.
regarding backstory. I'm just gonna take 1 gold out of my belongings and just hand it to Junko. Is this
Thank you.
payment enough, my dear?
Yes.
Good.
So are you guys gonna?
Shall we then? To the
To
quarry?
the quarry!
All right. As you move
Let's
to the
go.
gate, Osler sees you.
Oh, you're all together then. Good, that's good. Good.
Kind of gives you a very strange look.
Well,
Goodbye,
won't get in your way.
Oh, we'll be back later, you know. For
I
our
hope
rooms
so.
and
I'd just
dinner.
as soon take care of the cleaning before dinner rush.
Oh, the church will be heading over soon to take care of the outdoor cleaning.
She means the body.
Right.
Yeah.
The dead guy over there, Gundagoot.
You guys aren't very discreet, are you?
Guys, I was trying to, not say that.
Cora,
The opposite
You're
of what
good.
you did.
Oh, I'm gonna need to get Rutger down here again. Okay.
during this moment of like when we pass the people at the gates, if they're still, that's when I would do my thing
Okay.
or attempt to.
I think in this case, I would prefer to do that vocally. I think
Oh,
for the sake of entertainment quality. You
Oh
know?
yeah, of course.
Entertain us.
I'm gonna try and slide the seeds into Elowin's pouch.
Elwin, what's your passive perception?
Interesting.
My passive perception is 15.
Oh,
Dang.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense.
Ithri discovered that.
It's up to you what you want to do with this information, but you notice the action. It's very practiced, but you notice the strange woman as she kind of moves past you in a very practiced motion. She slips something into your belt pouch. Probably the one that the spell components are in, I would assume.
Excuse me?
You're muted.
I don't know.
Okay. What did you just?
Thing.
Okay.
What? We go to Quarry.
I just look at her in a worried, confused way, and
I just keep
follow the
going
rest of the
with
group.
a straight face.
Are you guys coming? Hurry up!
Yeah, I want to be at the back.
2 seconds,
You're
guys.
leading the way.
I just want to pull Osler aside and whisper to him.
It's like kneeling down.
Yeah, Osler. Yesterday. No, it was today, this morning.
Yes?
Rutger said to you to treat us like you would treat him. Does he get special treatment here? 'Cause if
Rutger!
there's any good meads, I'd like that with dinner.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, shit.
With advantage in this case,
Okay.
because you've got something going for you.
I'm pulling for you, man. I'm pulling for you.
Nice, dude. Nice.
It's a -1.
You can do it.
Ooh.
No, I can't. Oh, wait, what's
Oh.
that? I can't see it.
It's a 18. You rolled a 19 on the die.
Nice. That's the best roll I've had so far
I believe that is correct.
for acquiring mead. Great.
That's
Oh.
good. That's important.
Yes, well, it is what Rutger said. Okay. I'll
Cheers, buddy.
have
We'll
it
make
ready.
sure we'll make sure we have this cleaned up as.
Oh,
as
thank
soon
you.
as
I
The
appreciate
church
that.
can pull their finger out.
Yes.
Does when Ithri says when the church can pull their finger out, does Osler react in any way?
Sort of an initial, like, a snicker, and then an immediate...
Okay, cool. As long as he doesn't look offended.
No,
if
quite the
I'd heard
opposite. He
that-
looks pleased.
If I'd heard that, I would have laughed.
And then I'll just catch up with the group. That was
Okay.
it.
Yeah. So for the rest of you guys, actually, we're going to take this opportunity to pause for a little break, and we will be back in
I
a few
need
minutes.
tea.
Okay. So, you set out from the Inn of the Welcome Lady, ignore what the text says, and
Okay.
I thought I updated all of the things I was changing. Apparently I missed a spot. I gotta do that. You head north, past the blacksmith, the village elder's home, past what looks like a wheel and wainwright and a carpenter's shop, past the stonemason, to a little footpath that runs west, kind of northwest, toward the Hummel. And who drew the unhappy face?
I don't
You
know.
guys.
Ashley.
I wouldn't know how to.
Ashley did.
Neither would I.
That does sound like an Ashley.
It matches her green. There's like 4 greens on
But
there.
there's 4 greens. You don't know it's me.
Yes, I do.
You did it intentionally.
You come to the banks of the Hummel, and you can see that there is a small wooden bridge, no rails or anything, just like a 5-foot wide wooden bridge that runs right over the stream to the edge of a steep bank into a quarry. And there are cut stone steps that kind of go around the outside of the quarry down into the center of it. And it's pretty wide. I mean, to give you some context, each square, I believe, is 20 feet square. So
Yes.
it's a wide open quarry. probably 200 feet across, give or take. You can see at different levels of the quarry workers who are chopping stone or breaking stone off. Not a lot of workers. There's maybe 4 of them, one of whom is presumably the stonemason. They see you coming in, and a couple of them are just kind of watching you while they're working. There is an immediate stink of dust and earthiness, I suppose, in here. And
At first glance, Tim,
yes,
would I be able to tell if this was the dust found under this guy's fingernails and on his boots?
make a nature check.
17.
You would say that, yeah, this probably looks like this was it.
Is there only one entrance / exit staircase?
There is. Though the actual quarry itself is kind of a mess. There's large rocks, little piles of rocks, piles of gravel and debris. I mean, there's a lot here.
I'll just turn and say to the group as we're walking down, and I'll say, "This is definitely where he was. The dust matches that of under his fingernails and boots."
Can I just start looking around for signs of a struggle or something?
Well, before we start heading too far down the stairs, I think Ithri would say, because I presume we can see most of the floor, although there'd be big stones in the way. If you had to murder someone in here, where would you do it? Is there like a hidden alcove kind of thing?
Make a perception check, I would say that would be. And anyone who wants, since he asked it out loud, any of you are allowed to if you want.
Sure.
Perception?
I have no idea.
18.
Oh,
Back
my
on
luck's
brand.
come back. Now that it's not about me, that's a 7.
7? I mean,
Yeah.
it's all, there's so many places here. I mean, there's a lot of cover and shadows and, you know.
Okay.
I got a really good roll.
Got 17.
Yeah, I got 18.
17 and
gonna-
18.
I'm just gonna point to a few shadowy places. There, there, there.
Okay.
I'll just say to Ifrit, "It's funny you say that because..." Tim?
So first of all, you see a few things. Dracon, you catch sight of a particularly shadowy corner of the quarry. No one's working there, and there's a large pile of stone blocks that kind of cut it off from the rest, sort of creating a natural alcove. And your gut says probably over there. And like as you start moving that way, actually no. Well, I'll wait until you guys actually move over there to give you more on that. But more coming for your perception. Meanwhile, Elowin, something else catches your eye. Maybe 50 feet from the stairs on the actual like quarry wall, so to speak. Like it's kind of a stepped wall. It's a tiered wall. There's rings around it that you can walk on. On one of those rings, you catch sight of a shadow where there really doesn't look like there should be a shadow on the ground. And the more you look at it, you're starting to think maybe that's not a shadow, but something on the ground over there.
You guys, over there? Up on the ridge? The shadow that you see looks like a shadow.
It could also maybe be a stain or something.
There's something up there. It's quite far to see from here.
Can I distinguish what it is with my vision?
Are you asking what your elf eyes see?
Yeah, I
What do my
gonna-
eyes see?
I was going to say it.
Make your perception check. Or if you already did, what did you get?
I'd rather roll again because that was terrible.
Well, Well, no, that sounds like the answer to your question.
You got 7.
Yeah, before I got a 7.
Okay, once she points it out, you can see it too, but you're kind of like, what the hell is that? Definitely not a shadow.
What do I see, Tim?
Well, I already told you spotted your little cubby. This would be separate for you.
Oh, should I roll
Honestly,
another...
at this point, you guys would probably have to go over there to really see what it is.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Let's go check it out.
Yeah, I reckon we should go over and have a look.
I mean, if there's only one entrance exit that I can see, we should keep an eye on the stairs that we're on to see if there's any blood. I guess drag marks would be normal if they're carrying stone up here.
Notably, the ridge where Elowin spotted the mark or the stain or shadow is just above the little natural alcove that Dracon saw.
Oh, okay.
So you're going over to the ridge spot or the alcove?
I'll go down to the alcove.
I'll go to
I'll
the
start
ridge.
walking down.
Okay.
Do any of the
Mhm.
people in the quarry look like they're reacting to us? Are they just
Yes,
carrying on?
as soon as Dracon starts walking toward that alcove, one of the workers kind of says something and the others nod, and he just starts walking. The others keep working. He alone starts walking to meet Dracon, it looks like. Though, Dracon, you should probably reach that alcove well before he gets to you.
Okay.
Ithri wants to keep an eye on whoever looks in charge, just to make sure they don't
Okay.
bolt for it.
Looks to be
Yeah.
the one who's approaching Dracon.
Okay, cool.
Though they're all dressed more or less like peasant working class. So for those of you up, we'll do the ridge first because I have that note
Yep,
already
sure.
in front of me. Making your way over there. E3, you said you were looking, as you were walking over there, you were looking for like drag marks or something as well?
Well, I presume if there's only one staircase in, there
Mhm.
would be drag marks where they bring the stuff up. So
True.
I was more looking for blood, bits of clothing, bits
Okay.
of rope.
You
bits
can
of-
make a perception or survival check. Your pick.
Oh, ooh. Let's do a survival. Wait!
Nice.
21.
21.
Good job.
Hey.
Yeah,
First good
actually.
roll.
You, I
First
mean,
good
there's
roll,
definitely a lot
please.
of drag marks as you were expecting, but there's also the odd rock here or there that's a little bloody.
If when I see it, I'd point it out and say it definitely looks like it came from here.
And obviously, there's too much other drag marks to pick out any real boot prints here, unfortunately.
I
But-
figured a quarry wouldn't have too much.
As you guys get
Footprints.
over to the stain, it becomes very clear that that's dried blood. Now, mind you, from below, it wouldn't be very visible. Even from where you were, like, if Elowin hadn't pointed it out, it easily could have just blended in with the shadows and you might have missed it. It's not very big, but there is a definite blood stain on the ground up on this ridge over here.
Okay, so I think there's definitely blood here, guys. I don't know what else it would be.
As I approach it, can I discern any kind of pattern to the blood?
Make a survival check.
Can I see how old the blood is?
Medicine check.
16.
Yeah, so something you can see a very clear impression in the gravel below it, where you would surmise probably a head struck the ground in the middle of the bloodstain. Given your survival, you would probably surmise that actually it's likely the person fell here before that blood stain was there. So you might recall that he was struck twice. Once that might have like knocked him down, and then a second time that was a killing blow. It's likely that whatever knocked him down, he didn't move from this spot between falling and getting struck with the
Yes. Second hit.
right.
Okay.
You also find, I would say, a secondary, a small stone. It's actually perfectly smooth. and kind of ovaloid, and one half of it is covered in blood.
I would like to look for anybody twitching, like nervous.
Well, none of them are really like. No,
There's
the
people
one
working
guy.
here, right?
There were 4 total. 3 of them are
Okay.
still working, and occasionally just like kind of glancing curiously. The only one who's come really close is by this point probably in conversation with Dracon.
Okay.
I was
And-
going to say that if the others were going to the ridge, I probably would have asked Junko to accompany me to the alcove part at the bottom. But that's up to her.
I would.
Okay, so then the 2 of you. Okay, so then I will get back
Yeah.
to you 2 in a moment.
Okay.
Okay.
Cora, what was your medicine result?
20.
You would say this is about. It probably is from sometime during the night.
Lines up. Timing.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
Yeah, I
it's
think-
mostly dry. It's still got just a hint of dampness to it.
I think this is it. Timing lines up.
I go down and I move her around and says, well, something appeared to have fallen here. Then I look around some more and I see the rock and I point to it. And that rock has blood on it, so perhaps that was used to hit him in the back of the head.
The murder weapon!
He was in the library with
The quarry with the smooth rock.
With the rock.
Do you think that would have been heavy enough to cause such an injury?
From what I could tell, maybe he was struck with it and he got knocked down, probably knocked unconscious. And if I remember correctly, it was what I could tell the killing blow was something heavier. This might have just been used to knock them unconscious.
What was he doing here?
Many things I could have been doing here, but
Well, if E3 did see 2 sets of tracks, maybe he was following someone here to the quarry.
Maybe he was meeting a lover.
Is there?
That's what people do, right? At night.
Apparently so. In quarries, yes. That's
Quarries.
what
Something about the dust.
And then
maybe
the lover
we can
kills them.
find those tracks here. Elowen saw the boots, the boot prints as well, and
yeah, the one was heavier and
maybe we
more
can
tracked than the other.
maybe we can find a matching set.
That would be a survival check, if you guys want to look for that.
Do you
Well,
want to do it
if-
with my assistance, or shall I?
Yeah.
Go.
So I,
I
do it
provide
with
help.
advantage, yeah?
Yep, exactly.
Okay. And survival.
You can do it. Yeah, survival. You can't
Is it
do
bad?
it.
Wow.
See, your first mistake was letting E3 help you.
Yeah.
Probably
Here's a
would have got a
track.
bit
Oh, no, that's
I was gonna say we're rolling so much better today, but
if
The curse is
three's
still there.
involved, no.
So you guys look. Unfortunately, the tracks here are just too convoluted. There's too much traffic here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, that was my idea for the afternoon. I'll leave it to you guys.
Cora, do you wish to pick up the rock? That way we could take it back and see if it matches correctly with Soriel's head wound.
oh,
I mean, it's
Yeah.
got blood on it. I think matching it isn't an issue, but
Well-
it might be good to take
Well-
it back to show.
yeah, the murder weapon's usually like really important, right?
Yeah, we don't know
in the books it
necessarily
is,
if it was him. It could have been just a fight or someone else fighting or something. We don't necessarily know that this is his blood.
Oh,
So we need
I'll-
evidence.
I'll pick up the rock and like wrap it up in something.
Okay.
Elowen reaches inside her pouch to see if she has something to wrap it up in and pulls out a
Pine
handful of
seeds.
apple seeds. Looks at them
What
like,
the-
and then looks over at Jinko with a, and then giggles a little.
From here, you actually have a really nice view of her and Dracon. They're just below. They're like maybe 15. Well, no, you're actually on the upper tier, so they'd be 30 to 35 feet below, and you kind of have a nice diagonal view of them. And it's only about a 15-foot scramble to the top of the quarry. Like you aren't guaranteed to be able to, but you probably might actually be able to scramble up to the top from here. With enough athletics, if you were of a mind to, for instance. So actually, as you're looking down at them, that's a good segue. Transition down to Dracon and Junko. As you step into this alcove, it's very secluded. There's a little bit of shade here.
How
Big
light is it
pile of
within? How light is it within the alcove? Is it light enough within the day to actually be able to see everything?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not a real alcove. It's just there's piled up rock and debris all around that it kind of.
I guess before I start looking, I'm assuming they got there before us.
No, you'd have gotten here first. So you've got about 15 seconds. Oh, I see. Yes, they did.
So I'll just ask, did you guys find anything?
Well, they're 30 feet up. And
did you guys find? No, just...
I mean, this is kind of simultaneous. They're still looking.
No worries.
They're in the process of looking. So they got there, and then like 5 seconds later, you got here.
I'll just...
That's real, man.
I'll look down, because she's short, to Junko and say, let's see what we can find here then. And then I would like to make some sort of check to see if I can find anything, Tim.
Anything in particular you're looking for, or just anything else?
I guess any form of scuffle. I guess I would see the blood now on the wall, so I would probably put 2 and 2 together to know that.
Well, no, the blood is above you by about 30 feet and on the ground up there, so you don't actually see the blood.
Oh, okay. So I'll just look to see if there was any movement, any blood down here, any form of displaced dirt or whatever.
You could make a perception check, I would say. And Junko, what are you doing?
I guess watching over him, unless he asks for my help.
Okay.
Well, I did say let's see what we can find. So both together, I would say, if that's fine with you.
I will look for... They will help.
Okay.
You're gonna help or make your own check?
I will help you.
Okay.
All right, roll with advantage. Don't roll 2 6s.
That was terrible.
Well,
And we did better.
That was the one thing I didn't want. The perception is so bad for me. I was looking around Tim, in the dirt, looking.
I mean, yeah, there's.
You're just
investigating, Tim.
It looks like any other part of the quarry, honestly.
Bastards. Okay.
You really just disturbed everything.
I'm sorry.
Like your cloak is messing up everything.
I'll pick up my cloak and shake it about, get the dust off it. So I assume I didn't find anything. So
at about this point, you're kind of interrupted by one of the men coming over. Hey, can I help you folks?
Out of instinct, I kind of flinch and look at my...
He has a pickaxe kind of slung over one shoulder.
I'll just put my hands, not grab her, but just on her arm to it's fine.
You need some?
We have reason to believe that a murder occurred around your
murder?
quarry. Yes, sir.
The hell you talking about, a murder?
Have you heard about the body found within Hummelbank this morning?
Body? Of who? Who are you?
My name is Dracon, and who are you?
Oh shit, I didn't name the stonemason.
Good job. I wouldn't know the name of this guy because none of the other four told me.
Dalla. Name's Dalla. I'm the stonemason. The hell is all this?
How many people work here?
Just me and my family.
I don't know how many that is.
4 today. Sometimes 5.
Who's
So
five?
is there 4? Is there 4 people in your family or 5?
They're not here right now, smartass.
I'm not trying to be smart. I'm trying to perform an investigation.
Sometimes my wife comes down. What's it to you? We didn't kill no one.
I'm not saying you did, but
What
The
are you
body we
saying exactly?
found-
I'm sorry. Dracon and whoever. What are you doing here? Where's Rutger?
Rutger has sent, and then I point up to the other guys, these 4 individuals to investigate the murder. After investigating the body, we found dust under the guy's fingernails and boots. That led us to your quarry, and
You
the
found dust?
the dust found within your quarry matches that on this person's body.
Make a persuasion check.
Mm.
6.
Well,
My charisma's so low.
I'll deal with Rutger. And only Rutger. If you don't have business, get out.
I
Out
don't
of me
think
quarry.
it works like that.
Oh, it working like that, sister. Out!
Would
Excuse me, sir. There's no need to be so forceful, so mean.
Out!
Do we
With
hear
the-
that?
with, yeah, I was gonna say with the
Yes,
4 of us at
Yeah.
the top.
You hear that.
I'll look down there. Hey, we found the
Yeah,
Oh.
you too! Out! All of you out! Out of me quarry!
We're detectives.
Come back
That's all
with
I
Rutger then!
That's all I say.
Does his hands look particularly clean?
No,
Other
they look,
than like
I mean,
normally they would?
They look like the hands of a. They're covered in dust and a little bit of mud.
I
He
mean,
looks-
just like in general, does like his clothing or like something looks newer?
No,
Okay.
no, definitely not.
Guys, I think we should head down there. It doesn't look like it's going well.
Yeah.
I agree. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go see what's happening.
Good sir, would you have reason to be hiding a murderer?
No, it's not your business! Get out! I don't talk to outsiders here!
Excuse me, sir, but I'm pretty sure I was in this lovely hamlet before you was even born.
And I'm pretty sure you're full of shite. Out!
By about this point, the other, assuming you guys took kind of a brisk pace getting down here, like
Yeah.
you guys are
Right, yeah.
approaching.
Oh, what's the problem?
Problem is, you're not Rutger. You don't belong here. This is a working quarry. One of you lot gets hurt, it's on me. You don't belong here. So out!
Sir,
Oh, maybe you could make sure we don't get hurt then.
someone has already been hurt here, and if it's on you, we can tell that to Rutger. Unless you help.
Okay, so one of you may make an intimidate check with advantage, or one of you may make a persuasion check with advantage.
Y'all want me to make a persuasion check with advantage?
I should
No,
not
no,
be
this is-
talking to people. If you want shit done, don't ask me.
I'll make the check.
Okay.
My hand is still on my wakizashi, like ready to draw. By the way.
You're what?
You're
What?
washy-washy?
What do you got there?
Nothing. My waki.
Uh-huh.
I'm whacking
Walkie
stick.
talkie.
It's for
Oh.
cooking really good stir fry.
Mm-hmm.
Yummy.
That
Nice.
is all.
20.
20.
Rutger appointed you, right?
That's right. We're his detectives.
Bunch of outsiders.
Mhm.
Is there a problem with that?
His
With an
eyes
outside
flick
view
to
to
Cora's
see-
holy symbol.
No, I suppose not. Stick together. And don't wander off from me. Won't have anyone getting hurt here.
Well, he's right. Somebody did already get hurt here.
Yeah, well. What makes you think so?
There's a big old blood spatter up there.
Start laughing. Well, if you would have let me tell you what I was trying to say, good sir, before interrupting me and being rude, perhaps we could have got to that point.
Yeah. All right, blood, huh? All right.
And a murder weapon.
And the murder rock.
I'm going to lean down and whisper in Jinko's ear. Fuck this guy.
Now, to be clear, by the way, the rock is smaller than a fist.
It's in my bag,
Mm-hmm.
or it's on my person. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think he made the list. I'll whisper back.
All right, well, what do you want from me? What do you want out of the quarry?
List, oh no.
You're doing your looking, then do whatever.
Can you give
I'd
us a
appreciate if
tour
you
of
could-
your facilities?
A tour of what? It's a quarry. Over there I got rock. Over there I got more rock. Over there's the tool shed, and there's some more rock.
Are there
There's
any
your
more
tour.
entrances or
No?
hidden areas?
No?
Anything missing from your tool shed?
Hmm.
Say
Can
the
we go
tool
see
shed.
the tool shed?
Sure, come on over. No, nothing's missing that I know of.
He walks you over to a tool shed. It's about the size of an outhouse. Like to call it a shed is a vast overstatement. It's just a little wooden box, basically. And he pulls the door open. You can see that there's some pegs for hanging pickaxes. There's some hammers and some stone crafting. Not even stone crafting. Some mining tools, basically. Nothing for fine stonework.
Anything missing?
A whole bunch of pickaxes.
Anything?
Are
with
all
blood on it?
these accounted for?
Yep. Got the one right here. My sons and son-in-law have the others.
I walk in and inspect the hammers, see if there's any kind of blood or anything
Okay.
like that.
Make an investigation check.
Can I assist him?
So
with
I will
that?
say right out the gate, none of them have blood on them. And yes, you may assist, so roll with advantage.
There it is. 18.
18. They all look dusty, well used. Nothing jumps out at you as having like blood on it or
Nothing that could be used as the blunt object that hit him in the head.
correct.
Okay.
In fact, while there are hammers large enough that they could have done that, the ones here, I mean, you're fairly confident these aren't. They're dirty enough that they were not recently cleaned. None of them.
So how late were you working last night?
Work till sundown, that's it. Not much good out here digging up rock in the night. Won't do if I
And
can't
you're-
see.
Your whole family was with you for the entire evening?
That's right. Yeah. I didn't
you
do
mind-
this if that's what you're thinking.
Do you
Am I
by,
with the group?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
go on. No, go on.
Do you by chance employ a night guard or a guard at night?
Guards. Where would I get a guard? I don't know if you've been around Humblebank. We don't exactly have... This isn't the big city. We're a farming town.
Hmm.
Most of these people don't even want stone. I've been here for 12 years, and they still think I'm an outsider.
So do you
Can
have,
I... No, go on.
do you think that there's anybody here that's particularly hateful to tree bloods?
Hey, don't go using language like that. I don't want to be associated with it.
You
The
don't-
people
No.
or the term?
Me and mine are Arcane, all of us. We don't associate with the old faith.
Can I make some sort of insight check to see, not regarding what she just said, but if he's being truthful? I guess just in general about what he's talking about.
Well, keeping in mind, insight won't give you. It's not a lie detector test. The best I can give you is an impression. But you are welcome to
Okay.
make an insight check.
Yeah,
That's
sure.
how we've been detecting so far.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
5.
5.
These wisdom
I mean,
and charisma based checks.
He seems
Do not be-
unpleasant, but you're
Oh, I
not
know
really. You don't really. He doesn't strike you as particularly deceitful or anything.
Okay.
Just
I'll
unpleasant.
just say to the group, I don't honestly believe that him or his family had anything to do with this murder. That perhaps this was just the place it occurred.
Let me
Up on the
rephrase
ridge.
then. Do you know anybody who particularly hates them?
Hates? No, not really. I guess Father Terryson isn't a big fan of Jaros.
But he'd never hurt him?
No one in town would. We all know each other. None of us would hurt one another.
Just because you know somebody doesn't mean you hate them and would never hurt them.
Look, maybe there was an accident or something. Maybe someone just fell. We don't exactly have a secure railing around the perimeter. Maybe someone just fell down and landed on their head.
And where would their body go if they fell down and hit their head and died? Just go slump next to a building?
I didn't know the body was slumped next to a building.
I was trying to tell you this.
Have you seen anyone hanging around here lately that doesn't work here?
I will also say to Cora and the rest, did you find any evidence, anything up there that could possibly tie the quarry?
It definitely happened here. There was,
Out of character, I want Ashley to show the murder weapon. But she won't.
Okay, I'm busy.
That Elliot girl's been around here a couple times.
Who?
Farmer Alec's daughter. Had to chase her out a couple of times. She's curious. Was gonna get herself hurt.
How old is she?
20, 21.
Is she Archaean, or does she follow the old gods? The old ways?
When was this?
You know, I don't actually know. Alex don't come to church. I've never seen him hanging around with Jaros either, though. I don't really know. You'd have to ask Solar.
Solar.
Solar Alec. Farmer Alec.
Her father.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
Where do they live?
Come on, I'll show you. I can point the house out to you from up here.
He walks you away from the tool shed. Back up
just
the.
before we leave that,
yes.
Was there any rope?
No, there was no rope in the tool shed. Though there were some harnesses that look like maybe for like securing something to a mount.
Okay. Sorry, that was it.
That's a fair question. He takes you to the top of the steps and then points to a house that you can see.
You zoom out.
And
As we're
points-
walking there, I'd like to be at the back of the group with Junko, and I'd just say, so nobody else could hear it, what list are you talking about, Junko?
She just smiles. That's it.
Fair enough.
At the
I'm
top.
gonna put two and two together.
Right over there. That's the Alec house. Alec Farms.
Which one did he point to?
That one.
This one?
Yeah,
23?
it's labeled 23 right over here.
Okay. And she's just been coming around here? Like, just
Not like every night or nothing. She's come like twice.
at
in the
night?
last. When we were closing up once. I chased her out. Told her there was no place for a lady like her.
A lady like her?
Yeah, you know.
A lady.
Yeah.
Ladies shouldn't be working in quarries.
Well, now, wait a second. That's not what I'm saying, neither. I'm just saying
That's-
she's got a better future than that. Pretty thing like her doesn't belong in a quarry.
I feel like she should have the right to decide that, but sure.
Okay, listen. Look, we're getting off topic. You asked, I answered. She's been around once or twice. No one else. That's it.
Okay, out of character, do you guys know the name of the man that died? That was
Yes.
killed?
Yes.
Yes. Sorry,
Surreal.
Surreal. Did you tell me that?
you haven't asked.
Okay. Never mind then.
But if you ask, we can.
Do we know the name of the man that was killed?
Yeah, we had a meal with the guy. Sorio with Sorio of somewhere.
Ellen.
Sorio.
Yeah, that.
Oh,
you know
not a
the name
local, not a local
Sorio?
then.
So you don't know this man?
No, can't say as I do.
Okay. Just trying to figure out if he would have had any ties with this young lady.
I think they might have been meeting.
An
know what I
outsider
mean?
coming here just to meet her?
No, I think he met her here and then they, you know.
Do you think they were lovers?
What is your idea? What is
Maybe.
Cora, have you got a thing for quarries?
No.
I think
This
she
is
has a
my
thing
first
for
time in a
love.
quarry.
Oh, okay. Well, can we dismiss the I've forgotten his name already. The quarry dude. What was his name?
No one
Paula?
cares.
No one
Ow.
cares.
Dollar.
Paula? Yeah.
Darla, thank you for your time.
Dollar sign, y'all.
We'll let you know if we need anything else.
$1 bill, yo.
I should probably write that down. So I don't. Next time you guys are like, I could sure use some limestone.
Yes, thank you very much for showing us around.
Yup.
Thank you, good sir. Have a wonderful
Thank you.
day.
May Archaeo's light shine upon you and your family.
Archaeo's blessings on you too.
I'll head out.
Yeah,
Oh,
to the
guys.
Group.
We found the murder weapon up there. Check it out. Rock.
Can I look here and ascertain whether or not this is likely to have been the killing weapon?
Well, if
Because
you're
you
gonna start going back
mentioned-
there, he's gonna need to accompany you if you're headed back.
I know I'm showing him
No.
the rock
Oh, you
that I
brought
have.
that. That's right.
He's
You brought
got-
it with you.
yeah,
I took
looking
it.
at it, it looks far too small, but it may have been the first.
the initial blow.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, it does strike you as odd that there would be such a perfectly smooth stone out here.
In a quarry, yep. These sort of stones don't belong in a quarry. This seems more like a river stone. Perfectly round.
Well, there is a river nearby.
There's one right near the farm that the dude pointed
That
out.
is very true.
Oh yeah, guys, do you want to go to the farm next?
If we look back at the quarry, looking at the map, is the alcove and body splat on the? It's not north, is it? On the upper side of the quarry. So
The alcove would
well,
be.
Bill
so
on the
yeah,
west side.
my
Where we found the blood.
my thinking is, could you have got if you went from the back of the farm we got pointed at around the river?
was
Could
about.
would it be okay? It's not there. Not what I was
Wait, did we not? Did he like fall from up top somewhere?
thinking. That was my thinking, but if that's a bit close to the river there, I think.
Now, mind
Where
you,
was the
that's
bridge?
kind of a limitation of the map, the ridge should go down to like here. It's
He
not just
did-
like otherwise the river would just be flowing right into the damn quarry.
Where was the bridge over into the quarry?
I think it's on a map.
It would be it would be like here.
Okay.
He did fall though, right? From somewhere?
I weren't there, so I can't have a say on what you
Billy,
saw. up there.
isn't that what you said?
No.
Oh.
It's possible, but as of the evidence you have now, you have seen no evidence to indicate something.
Okay.
Mhm.
Good.
Yeah.
The fall I think you might be referring to is that he fell on the ground where the
Oh, yeah,
bloodstain
you're right.
is. Like something
Yeah.
knocked him down.
So, are we heading to the farm or are we heading to the druid in the park?
I think farm is.
Farm is on the way.
Sounds like a decision. Let's go.
New evidence seems
so-
to point to the farm.
On a completely separate note, this is a bit out of the blue. Do any of you guys have any mundane or not mundane magical items?
Why?
I just
I-
want to have a look at it.
I do not have any magic items. I don't think.
I don't think.
Think so.
Nice.
What?
No.
I mean, I mean is that item that helps me cast Tim technically magical? My arcane focus.
Dealer's choice. I mean, if it's really up to you. You could consider that magical.
No,
The
I
holy
won't-
symbol isn't considered magical, is it?
No.
no, I don't have any magic items.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody does yet.
No worries.
Important note, in order to get to that farm, you'll have to go the long way around.
Oh shit.
You'll
We
have to
can't
go
take a shortcut.
no, not unless
Quarry
you
there.
physically climb out of the quarry.
Oh damn.
We'll just ride the river, get a boat.
Yeah, unless we go
a
looking in
raft.
the river for missing stones. I don't really know how that works.
I'm
Or
just
maybe they-
thinking that if this girl was somehow involved, if this was a secret lover's affair, would she be the one to hit this man and carry his body all the way into town? It sounds to me that somebody else would be involved. A
Probably.
bereaved
Triangle.
lover,
Mm.
a father.
You mean
To
maybe
me,
she
this-
come to Quarry? What? You three?
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead. To me, this doesn't make sense
No.
because if Sorio was lying about meeting Burnt, so there has to be something between him and Burnt. This quarry business, maybe he had a contact he was gonna come talk to during the quarry. Maybe he just followed someone up here. I don't think this is any kind of lover's quarry or anything like that.
Me neither. The quarry could just be a very convenient place, out of the way to meet, unseen, and something went wrong.
I agree. Yes.
Well, that's the
Yes.
perfect spot for lovers to meet.
You say that if there is a spherical stone, foreign stone.
It's most likely
Would-
from the river.
Yes, but if someone was bringing that to the quarry, what would be the reason other than to hit someone with it?
They're
Yes.
really fun to skip.
Not much.
There's
The
Yeah.
river's not there.
Yeah.
Out of character. You said the rock wasn't that big at all, right? It was fist size.
Yep.
Okay.
Perhaps whoever did this decided it was going to happen then and there. They picked it up on the way. We're just guessing at this moment, but we don't really have a suspect.
To
Did
be
you
on the
just
way
say
from the river.
that Byrne had a dealing with this Soren?
Had an interview.
Well, I guess it's out now. Sorio was
Sorry.
some kind of historian, and he was looking for an audience with Burnt. He lied to us, saying that Burnt never gave him an audience. But when we went to Burnt to go question him, Burnt said that he did talk to him. So Sorio lied to us on that, and I don't know why.
How do you know Byrne wasn't lying?
We also found was it a notebook or paperwork where Soria had written down
we had
the conversation between both of them.
I may be
also-
overthinking this, but documents are easily forged.
Yeah, but what would be the point?
To blame Burn.
It wasn't Byrne who sent you on this quest. It was whatever his name is that I forget.
Rutger.
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 We had the interview notes from the body before we met with Byrne. Byrne independently told us that he'd spoken to Sorio. Sorio lied to us the night before, and he'd also stolen from Byrne. We think he just wanted to steal more. But I don't know.
If Byrne had known he had stolen from him, what would lead you not to believe that Byrne wanted this man dead?
He seemed surprised that we were returning items to him. Obviously, we can't prove that, but
Of course.
he's also the most powerful wizard in town. I'm not going to mess with him.
Yes,
And
true.
him and Rutger are pretty close. I don't think he's the one who did it. She blushes a little bit.
Stranger things have happened, I'm sure. We could either go to the farm, question the young lady, or speak to the druid, who I honestly do not believe has anything to do with this, based on what I've been told.
Well, it sounds like the farm should be our first stop then. Maybe she even saw something and just ran home scared.
Perhaps she did go there that night and saw what happened.
That would be a good guess. She could have been meeting with Dala's son secretly.
So they're the lovers.
I think everybody loves everybody, Cora. Is that
Sounds really nice, yeah.
I assume you guys are having this conversation, by the way, as
While
you
walking?
Are...
Yeah.
Yes.
Cat
Yeah.
tail.
That's your new face.
E3 to be played by Cat.
Maybe.
Yeah, us.
Well, then I guess we're making our way to the farm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, at this point, other than starting to break some kneecaps, I don't have any ideas.
I'm gonna break
will
kneecaps?
Follow your lead.
I could help you, E3.
Wait,
There's
why?
too many questions and not enough answers.
Why specifically the kneecaps?
So they can't walk anymore.
Oh.
It doesn't heal properly, Cora.
It's effective.
It's permanent.
Ironic that you're walking past the Teamster as you're saying this.
Sounds painful.
Yeah, it's a bit much. I think.
It's not something I want to do, but I'm out of ideas and I'm good at hitting stuff, so I'll follow
Tim.
your leads.
Would I have heard of this man before?
Which man?
This historian?
Sorio of Sullen. You can make a history check.
Blah, 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 blah. $23.
Yeah, I'd say you'd have heard of him. Never met him
He's
personally, but
asshole.
he wasn't very good. You know that I would say your most experience with him was probably at the academy when
Okay.
he was looking to get a job and his qualifications weren't really taken very seriously.
So would it be said he was trying to take my job?
Probably not.
Okay.
I mean, there's room for more than one, but he was not the direction they went with.
Okay. But I would not know why he would be in this area searching or trying to take items from a wizard.
No.
Nothing like that.
No.
Okay.
Actually, you said 23?
Yep.
You know what, I'll give you that one. Okay, yeah. Actually, you do know one extra tidbit. He is a former student of that academy, and he was a dropout. He was trying to learn wizardry and was...
Ousted.
Well, he didn't have the gift. He had a spark, but not a very big spark.
Would I know what he tried to learn while being there? What was he a student of?
Divination.
Would it have been history? Divination.
Well, he was interested. Like I said, he was interested in history, and when he came back later, he insisted that he was informed that he had, all kinds of, that he would be better with it.
Okay.
That he had
Is
learned.
it possible that he would have been a student under me then?
Probably not. I would say
Okay.
no. Not likely.
Okay.
Would you let the group know that you...
Yeah, I'll say, I'm going to forget his name again. Soren, right?
Sorio.
Sorry.
Gloria.
This Sorio was known to have attempted to learn divination magic. He was not very gifted. He was a student at the academy in Vigamount. What led him here is a question that I cannot answer.
Well,
Do we know what
I could answer that
items?
question.
he was stealing spell scrolls.
So he was stealing magical items to
Mm-hmm.
I believe,
further his research and power.
yes, I believe the reason we found out is because he was investigating something about the old conflict that happened here.
Yes, I know much about this.
The
From our
exact-
suspicions, that's what he wanted more information of.
That's what the interview was about.
The
Yeah.
scrolls that he
Have you-
stole were about that, I believe.
Wasn't it the Temple of Elemental Evil or something?
Have you
Elemental
heard
Sin.
of the cult of
Elemental Sin.
elemental sin?
Yeah, that's the one.
That one.
Yes, that's what the Father Calamore was spoken to us about.
Do you know if he was here to find people within the cult?
He wanted to find... Sorio wanted to find it. He mentioned that specifically.
Ah, and what did you do with these magical items?
Return them to Mr. Byrne.
I guess my
Uh,
wish.
Oh, okay.
Should have kept on to him. I knew it.
I feel like the cult of elemental sin is somewhat linked with the old ways, druidic magic. It's very possible that the church could be behind this. To stop people from seeking out the cult. But again,
Well-
that is just...
Let's not jump to conclusions.
That would be more along my lines of thinking. I don't think this is a quabble between lovers. This was either racially motivated or had something to do with the church and one's beliefs.
There is definitely bigger hands at play here, which leads me to believe the church or Burn. I feel like this murder is a cover for something much larger.
I mean, we could just go back to Rutger and tell him what we found so far, see if he's got any directions he can point us in.
If you don't mind, I'd like to talk to girl first.
By about this point, you
Yes.
guys are just approaching that farm.
And
Yes.
by me, I mean Aloin and Cora. I think they would be nicer than I.
Agreed.
Because
I'm
I
happy
just
to-
go like this and like kind of
Flaunt all your gear, your weapons.
like I don't look nice.
Me and Elowen can do that, yeah.
I'm
Right?
happy to. Yeah.
The rest of us wait outside, I guess. We'll be in
Yeah.
earshot.
Deep breath. Marches up to house.
Okay.
Knocks on the door.
You hear a dog immediately start barking.
Orf,
I
orf.
jump back.
It's less of an arf, more of an ooh, like a baying.
Oh, they have a puppy.
It still startles me.
Not guilty. Can't be if they have a puppy.
Down, Gore, down! And after a moment, you can hear the door. Someone at the door, and it opens. Who are you?
My name is Cora.
My name is
This-
Elowen.
We're here on Rotger's request. We'd like to speak to your daughter.
My daughter?
Yeah.
No. Wait a second. Hang on. He, kind of slips outside and closes the door. What's Rutger want with my daughter?
Well, she may have seen something that happened last night.
We just want to ask her a few questions.
Make a persuasion check.
With advantage?
With advantage.
If he came outside of the house, would we all be within earshot of this conversation, or are we
That's
the
been-
rest
I-
of the guys?
Well, I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, I was assuming most of you were kind of waiting on the road with these two just kind of walking up the path to the door and knocking.
Yeah, that's
that
fine
correct?
with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can see it. I would say you might not necessarily be able to hear it without a passive perception of about 15 or higher.
I don't even know what my passive perception is.
It'll be on the core page.
Well, if you could see, Cora is like smiling and,
In friendly.
being friendly.
Good roll.
We got a 20 persuasion.
All right, I understand, but why my daughter?
Well,
Oh, 11.
she was near the place
No.
the thing happened.
What? Where? What place?
That's between us and your daughter.
Now,
Gets firm.
listen here.
We are detectives, and you are impeding our work.
We're just here to do our
Get him,
job.
girl.
He opens the door. Diana! Get out here!
Diana.
She appears in the doorway. She's actually tall. Almost like 5'10",
Dang.
and toned. She takes one look at you guys and kind of blinks and looks. What is it, Daddy?
Oh, God.
These people wanna. It's weird for me too.
Oh, God.
Yes, Daddy.
These people want to ask you some questions about last night. And she kind of.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry. I was here all night. I don't understand.
We'll just take
See?
a couple minutes of your time.
Well, go on. Ask your questions.
Yes. I'll look at him expectantly.
He waits patiently.
Can we have some privacy, please?
Why would you want
Well-
that?
We'll just be right out here. I'm gonna pull her out and shut the door. Just
Make another persuasion check, because this is a little different now.
oh
Wait,
god.
what?
This will just take a
Kidnapping.
second. We just want some privacy. This is
From inside
official
the house.
detective work.
Dad, we gonna work on this or what?
15. We'll just
All
be
right,
a couple minutes.
It better be just a couple minutes.
You can leave
I'm
the dog out
coming.
here.
And he goes back inside.
Oh.
She.
I'm
I
gonna
really
get close
don't know
to her.
what to tell you. I was here all night.
No,
And-
we know you were at the quarry last night.
How do you know that? I was not. I was here.
Mr. Quarryman saw you. I forgot his name too.
And you've been hanging around there a lot.
To be now, just to clarify, he did not say she was there last night. You
Oh
are.
yeah, that's right.
Okay. Just so
Hanging
you know.
around.
Cora's just making shit up
Okay.
and misremembering. So you were there last night.
Who are you? I don't want any trouble. I didn't see anything. I don't want to. I'm not telling anyone anything. It's no big
Look.
deal.
Something bad happened, and it is a big deal, and we're trying to figure out what exactly happened.
If you
So-
help us out, there shouldn't be too much trouble.
Yes, not for you.
Look, I wasn't supposed to be out there.
Why were you out there?
Because because
Were you meeting someone?
oh no.
Oh,
No.
Cora looks
No.
disappointed.
Because I've been practicing. And I don't want Daddy or Jason to find out.
Practicing what?
With a sword. I saved
Oh.
up. I bought it last summer. And I've been watching some of the militia when they train. I think they think I'm just interested, but well, I am interested, just not in, I want
You
to
didn't-
fight. So I've been watching and I've been practicing, and I know Daddy wouldn't like it, so I've been. I thought maybe in the quarry it'd be no one would bother me.
Did you see somebody else in the quarry? That wasn't supposed to be there?
I heard. I really don't want any trouble. I don't want Daddy knowing I was out there. I don't want Rutger asking questions, not yet. I
That's why
really
we're
don't want my
talking
life getting
privately.
upset. Okay, well, just as long as. I don't want this getting out to Rutger either.
We can leave this part out, right, Evelyn?
Yeah.
I mean, the specifics of who
yeah,
was.
the specific parts.
Alright, well. I was practicing like I do, and I thought I heard someone scream. So I took my sword and I went to the quarry to check it out. I was a little not north. I was west of the quarry. I had a little dummy out by a tree over there. You can find it if you want to check up and make sure. But I was out there. I heard a scream, so I went to the edge of the quarry and I saw some people. I think there were
How many?
4 of them. I think about 4 of them, and they were
So you,
standing over something. And I thought I saw one of them do something. He had a staff, I think.
do you know what time at night it was?
It was late after Daddy and Jason had gone to bed.
Could you tell who they were?
Well, no, not really. But listen, it was late. It was hard to see. I don't really know what I saw, but I saw the one with the staff. I thought, and I'm sure I'm wrong, but I thought he was wearing robes, while the other two were just wearing cloaks. And they split up. Two of them went north, and the other one went into town. I don't know where the fourth one went. The one who went into town was the one with the staff, and he was... I don't know. It was hard to see.
So you
Go
couldn't
ahead.
see what was on the floor? On the ground? It was too far away.
I didn't go real close. It looked like a person.
Could you
And I
hear
heard
them?
that scream, and I'm not that good with a sword yet. Maybe if there was just one of them, maybe I could have helped, but it didn't seem like running down there and dying was the right move, so I hid, and I waited till they were gone, and then I went home. And that's
So the
it.
people. So the
Did
people
anybody-
just left it there?
I'm sorry, what?
The people just got up and left, and there was still what you thought was a body or a person there.
Well, no. I think the robed one took the body. It looked like, if that's what it was.
And they headed towards town.
He had something. He had something big. Went back into town. Yeah.
Did you see if he ever came back?
No. Once they were gone, I left, and I didn't hear nothing through the rest of the night. No one came back, as far as I could tell. They were there for a while, though. After the scream, I couldn't hear what they were saying, but they were talking.
Could you tell if it was male voices or female?
Mostly male, I think.
Mostly?
Well, I think one of them might have been a woman. One of the two who left.
Elowen, how many people did that Quarry guy say were his family? 4?
4, sometimes 5, I think, when his
That-
wife used to help out.
I'm pretty sure the ones who left were a man and a woman. They was wearing cloaks, and they had, I couldn't make out what it was, but they had some kind of stitchery on them. I didn't make them.
Think of any other questions?
I think we have most of the answers to what we need. Can you?
No, I can't think of anything else. Do you still
Well-
have your sword?
It's by the tree with the dummy.
Oh, okay.
Why?
I'm just making sure you knew where it was.
It's mine. I'd prefer you not mess with that. I bought it.
Oh,
I had to
wasn't
work
gonna-
hard to buy it.
I wasn't gonna do anything with it.
Thank you.
I think it's really, really brave what you're doing.
Well, I don't think Daddy would think so, but I do appreciate that.
Well, that'll be our secret between us girls.
Okay.
Yeah. We appreciate all of the help you've given us.
I do hope you find who you're looking for.
I hope you do too.
Thank you.
Okay.
Did you want to talk to my daddy again, or?
No, but if you could send out your dog so we could pet him.
Oh no, I don't think you'd like that.
Oh, it's not friendly.
Probably not. Not to outsiders.
Oh. Okay.
Okay,
So,
never
can
mind.
Oh, never mind.
She opens the door, and as she's back inside, you can hear, "What did they want?" As the door closes behind her.
Nothing, Daddy.
I'll head back with Elowen.
Yeah, we'll head back to the group.
I don't want to
How-
break her kneecap. She seems nice. Not that I heard what she was saying.
She was really nice.
How
She's a
did
sweet
it
girl.
go?
We got
Good.
some good things that could possibly lead us.
What did she tell you?
Like,
She said that she saw at least 4 people in the quarry.
Over the body.
One possibly a woman, and that her and one other headed off back into town. They were in cloaks.
No, the
with some sort of
two,
stitching.
the man and woman went to the north, didn't they? And then the one went back into town with the body.
Oh yeah, the one went back into town, but there was stitching on the clothes. She couldn't make out what they were.
what happened to the
Is-
4th one?
She
She said
doesn't-
she couldn't figure out.
Yeah.
Is North out of town, or is that?
North would be to the right on the map.
Yes, so
Ew,
past the
I
quarry.
see that label right
Oh, yeah.
there.
So is there anything in that direction that we know of?
What's to the north?
So, you know that the north continues through the edge of the breathing plains, eventually coming to the gnarlwood. And whatever lies within. It's a dense forest. As far as settlements, there's some settlements. Notably, the village of Noct is north. But beyond that, I mean, there's not really many big cities to the north.
So it's possible that one of them returned to Noct.
Is there anything else out that way?
Wait, Noct. Isn't that where the canoness was thought to have had issues with?
Hmm?
This isn't related, is it?
Noct is not a
Noct.
very nice place.
No,
There's
we
a lot
don't know
of
where the
unsavory folk there.
we don't know where the
It's
canoness
mentioned.
disappeared to.
Did she mention if she saw them fight, them struggle, any weaponry?
The
Scream.
The one who had a staff who took the body into town.
I mean,
What kind of stuff?
Just a staff. She didn't really know. It was really dark. She was scared.
Said it was kind of
ba-
late.
Based on what they said about the stitching thing, would I be able to? Would I know anything about that?
Probably not. Not with her not having described what it actually looked like.
Okay.
But guys, aren't there 4
Trying really
people
hard
in the
not to make-
quarry?
5 with the wife.
I feel like
but you said one was wearing robes.
a wizard, perhaps, with a staff.
Yeah.
Or a priest, perhaps?
Very true. You spoke to the priests within the church.
We
Neither
did.
of them were carrying a staff, I think.
You didn't see a staff.
Not
Was
on
there
Check.
was there stitching on their robes at the church?
No, they were mostly just clerical vestments.
Okay.
And they weren't wearing, they were wearing, the stitching she said was on the cloaks, not the robes.
Oh, right, that's right.
Yeah, it was on the cloaks.
Possible hired help.
Or some kind of cult.
Of elemental sin.
Oh, maybe they're like getting it back together or something. You think?
It's possible.
Maybe.
But why would they kill a guy who had
Maybe he was asking too many questions and they didn't like it, so they killed him.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Tim, but if from what I know about the cult, would they actively seek to kill people if they were asking too many questions? They were
You're not
trying
really
to
sure, I would say,
meet
on
them?
that note. I mean,
Okay.
because 10 years ago, it was a long time ago. You know, that was 10 years ago. Supposedly, they're supposed to all be gone.
Mm-hmm.
But 10 years ago,
Then
yeah,
maybe
probably.
else.
They were pretty nasty people.
I mean,
If they are supposed to be gone, maybe asking questions would warrant them to put a stop to that if they are in hiding.
Well, if
Perhaps,
go ahead.
perhaps we should burn another visit or the church. This new information.
They might know more. Burn and Rucker.
so the problem with that is if the guy in robes was Burn, giving him all the information that we have is a bad move.
Very, very bad.
Same.
Oh, I
with-
don't think it was him.
And if it was one of the guys from the church, that's also a bad move. Can't we take this to Rutger, give him all the information we have, and see
How-
if
Tim
he...
is
But if we
right.
trust Rucker, we have to trust Burn. Mr. Burn.
What are you saying, Shannon?
No.
No.
I don't know any
How-
of these people well enough to know.
How do we know we can trust Rutger?
He's the one who hired us.
Yeah.
How do we know that he didn't hire you knowing you
hired-
would fail the investigation?
He hired us to find someone.
Oh,
He didn't say to find the one that actually committed the crime.
We
He wanted someone.
honestly, I don't want to frame the wrong people. I'd like to get the right guys, but if Rutger's corrupt, we just need to give him all the information we have so that we don't get thrown in prison. If he's not corrupt, he might be able to help. Either that,
he didn't seem like
Or-
a murderer to me.
if we don't trust any of them,
Oh.
we could just go.
But just leave town?
Just run.
You guys have
They're
no
the three
time
options
limit,
I have.
correct?
He never gave us a deadline.
Then we can go eat.
That is a good idea.
Yeah, Ogre stole our breakfast this morning.
Yes.
Oh, I've got rations if you want to have something immediate, or we can go back to the inn and convince Osler it's
To
part
make
of the
us some lunch.
investigation that we test the food.
Or we don't lie and just say we need to think on it.
I wasn't gonna. Yeah, it would have been. I'd have paid. Just, you know.
But yes, a nice place to talk about what we discovered would be nice.
Or to think and not talk is good too.
Maybe we need some brain fuel.
What time of day is it now?
By this point, probably 2:30, 3 o'clock.
Oh yeah, we need lunch.
You guys have been doing a lot of walking around, a lot of investigating.
Missed lunch.
I find food doesn't help me think, but hitting stuff does.
What about drinking?
I do need food first. Drinking helps me not think,
Then you can't overthink.
which I enjoy not thinking. We can go get some drinks and some food.
Okay.
Let's head back to the inn.
All right. So you guys make your way back to the Inn of the Welcome Lady. Lady! Ignore the
Do we-
text.
Do we
No one said anything different. No one said anything different.
do we pass the blacksmiths on the way there?
You wouldn't be passing it, but it's in the same town square as the inn. I mean, it's right next to the inn.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Like, you can literally hear the guy hammering
think-
as you go to the
yeah.
gate.
I think I'd go get some food and a mead first.
Okay. The crowd is mostly gone now. I'm not mostly, it's gone. But the as you move up to the front doors of the inn, you can see that there's a sign that says temporarily closed.
I'll knock on it.
Is there a body and guards still?
I would say at this point, no. The body has probably been taken.
Finally. But yeah, I'll knock on the door.
After
Mr. Gundagoot.
a few moments.
We're Oh. Good news?
We're hungry. Can you feed us?
We've got some medium level news we need to think over.
Rutger didn't come by. Well, I guess your stuff is already inside. There's a few guests still in. You already technically got rooms. But not you two. Well, yeah.
Hello, Gundagoots.
They're with us. It's okay.
I can sleep outside. I don't care.
No. Come in. Come in. You're working for the town, so.
He'll let you in. Into the inn. You can see that the inn is actually quite quaint and cozy. There's a large fireplace, unlit at present. A common room full of tables. At present, there is a dwarf seated at the bar. You can see he's got 3 empty flagons in front of him. He sees you kind of at you. Doesn't really say anything. There's basically no one else in here.
Well, I don't have dinner cooking yet. I can get you some cheese, some fruit.
Some cheese.
She likes cheese. Yeah.
And
Cheese was delicious last time.
Right? We'll say you're doing some good work for the town, so let's just say 5 copper and I'll bring you out a tray.
Okay.
Got a deal.
I'll pay the man. Grab us a mead as well, and I'll give him. How much was a mead last time?
I don't remember.
Was it like a silver? I'll give him enough for a mead. And,
I actually
feel like it
have
should be a
all of
couple
his
copper.
prices. So, let's see.
You have a menu?
Yes, I do. Mead is
I'll have
1
a special
electrum. Because of course it is. Half a gold. So 5 silver.
Yeah, I'll give him that and a copper, and then send him on his way.
All right.
So,
I'll have your stuff out in a moment.
I'll have
why
a
don't
cup
you-
of water, please.
Oh, sure. Why don't you take the VIP room you were in this morning? That way you can talk.
Sorry.
No.
Does anyone else want mead? Anyone want drink?
No.
Oh, thank
There's
you.
not
No.
water. No.
I'm good, thanks.
No.
Thank you.
I don't drink alcohol, but thank you, Ifrit.
Just one thinking juice on you.
Right.
Or not thinking juice.
That
And
one.
he'll bring you your food, your drink.
So I'll just leave you to it then.
Thank you, Mr. Gundagoot.
Mr. Gundagoot. Wow, that I don't know what I was at.
Mr. Gundagoot.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
How many people wear cloaks here?
Cloaks?
Robes.
Robes.
In city?
1.
Well, there's Burn, of course, and a couple of the druid folk. Otherwise, it's just the visitors. And
Any of those favor quarterstaffs?
It wasn't me.
Well, Burn and Jaros. Say, didn't? Oh nope. I was gonna say the late Sorio of Selen, but no, he didn't have a staff.
He had a dagger, correct?
Did he?
He had a sheath.
Don't
for him.
really know. I didn't pat him down. No, as far as locals, only really Burn But your Ross walk around in robes with a staff. But we get plenty of outsiders who come in and out looking like that. Like yourself.
Thank you.
Thanks, Esther.
Mm-hmm. Let me know if you need anything. Common room's closed, so you have the whole kitchen. He'll leave.
Before he walks away, Gundergoots, is your father still alive?
Well, afraid not, no.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, right. You wouldn't know, would you? Well, lived a good life, full of laughter and booze.
He was a great
From what
man.
I understand, you and yours were always good to him, so...
Just because I misheard. You said full of laughter and booze, right?
Yep.
Thought he
I
said
heard boobs.
boobs.
Yeah, I heard
He did have a fair bit of that. He did have a fair bit of that, too.
It was close.
So I can use kitchen?
Well, probably not. No, I would just as soon you stay out of the missus' way. But if you need like a quick snack or something, you can just pop in there and
I'm just
we'll
gonna
get you
pull out
something.
my kettle.
Oh,
I just
yes,
the fire.
yes, of course. We could just bring you some tea if you want tea.
No, I brew special.
It is very, very nice.
What's
Okay,
the special tea for?
Drink him.
as you wish.
Is it to help you think or to help you not think?
I don't drink.
No, the tea. Is the tea for thinking or for not thinking or...
Thinking, delight,
Okay.
indulgence.
Are you willing
Oh.
to share?
You like the sort?
I'll try anything once,
Okay.
maybe twice.
LSD.
I'll go down and brew my tea.
Okay.
And before he leaves, I'll just say, was your father put to rest here? Or was he taken back to Eminence?
He's buried over in the church cemetery. Things are better. I've been meaning to run him some flowers. Maybe you come along with if you have anything to say. Happy to show you
Wouldn't
where he's
mind
at.
Having a quiet word. Pay my
think-
respects.
I think he'd like that. I think he'd
He's a
like
good
that very
man
much.
to my family. Okay.
How's how are your folks?
You tell me. They left here a while back. I haven't spoken to them in nearly 40 years.
Oh. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
We didn't see eye to eye.
Well,
That's family.
last I heard, they were still kicking. They were having a good old time. Made quite a pretty copper, they did, selling the smithy.
I saw there's an elven man. Now
Yeah. He came in with a purse full of coin, looking to buy the smithy, and I don't know what he offered them, but they liked his numbers, so they took it, and now he's Brother Smythe's smithy.
Was this before the conflict?
Oh, let's see. Yeah, that'd be around a year or two before, I reckon.
Said he got out of here before it got bad.
That's right.
I'm happy to hear that.
Canny folks. Your parents are, I hope. Haven't seen them since they left, though. Haven't heard hide nor hair of them.
You probably won't hear from them again.
Right. Well, I am very sorry. I best be getting to some cleaning. He's gonna.
Thank you, Gundergoots. I just sit there and just stare off into the distance, just thinking.
So you guys are kind of left alone in a VIP booth. It's not quite a private room, but it's close enough to it. It's like a booth with a door that you have. And Junko, you find the kitchen suitable for brewing your tea. Osler's boisterous wife is in there. She seems to be making some kind of stew. She's chatty. She talks your ear off the entire time you're there, making it kind of difficult to focus on what you're doing a little bit. And she also wants to know why you make your own tea. What's so special about that tea? Where can she get some, etc. You know. But and I'm kind of speeding through that because to make tea you'd be there for a little longer than a minute or two. But you were able to make your tea. And is there anything else you guys want to do?
Besides having our conversation beforehand, no.
Well, no. Okay, so if you wanted to have that conversation, we're getting close to. We're already 30 minutes over, so I just wanted.
Oh no, I'm not sighing for that. I was just thinking.
If you guys wanted to.
I'm
then you
not
guys
rushed today, so that's fine.
Sorry, go ahead, Ifrit.
So, I don't know this town. You might know it better. I don't know these people.
I was here before there was any buildings.
So probably don't know it that well either.
No.
My concern is for my hides. I want to do this right. I think if the farm girl saw a robed guy with a staff, and the only ones we can find are Byrne or this druid guy. We need to figure out if it was the druid guy, because if it wasn't, we're boned.
He's the only one we haven't spoken to.
Mm-hmm.
It would only make sense to at least inquire and question before we make any conclusions.
And if
But
we
know
don't
nothing.
if we don't get any leads by night, we could always stake out the quarry and see if anything happens.
Whether it's a meeting place or of some sort.
Right.
Perhaps I feel like it served its purpose.
Yeah, the farm girl was there regularly, right?
Yeah.
If it's only happened once, then I don't think Sorio would have just stumbled upon a clandestine meeting in the quarry.
So Tim, so Tim, I know what we spoke about before the game about Byrne.
Mm-hmm.
Would I know, based on what I've been told, that this is the person I know? Because I haven't seen
I'd say
him.
you remember the name. In particular, the fact, how often does an evoker turn up with a name like Byrne? It leaves an impression, I'd say you know it's him.
I've had dealings with Byrne before, I believe. If this is the same man I once knew.
Oh, really?
He was a student of mine in the academy, but this was long before he became a wizard.
And
That was a
how
long
was he
time
back
ago.
then?
He was a good student. He was bright. He was there to learn, and he achieved that. I don't really have much else to say, but
Wasn't into learning stuff he shouldn't.
well, correct me if I'm wrong, Tim. I don't know if his magic is looked down upon.
No.
The magic he knows. No.
No, not particularly. Evocation is as well respected as any other arcane magic. It's just, it's evocation.
Yeah.
Battle mage.
No, I don't believe so.
And what you know of him, would you suspect that he would be capable of committing such a crime?
I believe anybody is capable of committing a crime. Just depends on the circumstance. I haven't seen him for a long time. I don't know what's happened between then and now. But with there only being 2 robed wizards or possible magic users with quarterstaffs, and these items being stolen from Byrne, to me, it only makes sense. But there is no evidence besides what this young lady saw that it could possibly be him.
Mm.
So we can't go and accuse the man without some sort of evidence.
This is also why I want to rule out Duras first.
Yes.
You can always accuse someone and see their reaction.
Cora's good at that.
I didn't
Very good
accuse
at that.
anybody. I just
Not
asked
since
them if
yesterday.
they did it.
Some
Did you
people.
do it?
As far as I know, he was given high station here after the troubles that happened years ago.
So, in that case, if Byrne had felt the need to murder an outsider who was clearly into things that are considered against the law or at least immoral, could he not have just done this in a legal way, or could he not have claimed the right to do this? He's got the power, he's got the lawman on his right hand. Why would he be going about this at night in a quarry without telling anyone?
And why do it himself?
Exactly.
Unless he felt like he had to do that. Maybe he felt that he was wronged. Maybe he felt that he should serve the justice. Again,
just-
I don't know who he is anymore.
I mean, anybody could put on a robe and hold a quarterstaff. Just
Lots
saying.
of people want to go through trouble.
Well, I
That is very
suggest,
true.
after lunch we go pay Juras a visit and see what he might know.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
2.
Then, depending on what we find out there, we might go back to Burnt and either confront him or tell him what we know so far.
Sounds like a plan.
There was 4 people, 2 cloaked with some sort of I can't remember the word that was used. Stitched thing. Who was the
Cloaked with
other
stitching.
person? Was he cloaked? Was that possibly Byrne's
I'm pretty sure they
friend?
were all cloaked, weren't they?
And then one was robes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that what was said? I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure.
She said they were all hard to see.
Yeah.
When they left, she saw 2 who were wearing cloaks and 1 in robes.
And
And
they
the other one
didn't
you
see the
didn't see
last one.
leave.
Right, exactly.
Have you? Well, okay. I guess I'll ask out of character. Have you guys met Byrne? Like anybody with Byrne? Was that mentioned? Was anything mentioned? Would I
As
note
in-
him? Because I know he was given his station right
Mhm.
after the war, and I know you mentioned something to me out of game, but I don't know if that's been brought up in game that he had a friend.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't just Byrne. It was Rutger and Byrne were assigned, were
Rutger
given
and
it.
Byrne,
Yeah.
So they are the people that were given high station
Mhm.
after the.
Yep. They're the feudal
Mhm.
lords of this little society, if you will.
Uh-huh. It seems to me that I don't know. It's possible. I mean, out of character, it just makes sense to me, man. Oh.
Well, from what the evidence is showing, it's one or the other.
Yeah. I just don't think we can trust anybody. and we shouldn't trust anybody.
So I look at everyone suspiciously now.
Well, he means besides like us, right?
Of course.
I just got here.
I'm Draco.
Yeah.
And
I
I
don't-
don't kill.
I don't know these two, but these three have got a silver's worth of trust at least.
I
Oh,
was
get
about
it.
to. I poured you tea, but then I'm like taking it back.
Rude.
No offense meant. Hopefully, trust can be found.
Don't kill people.
I've been helping with this investigation since I arrived in town.
Sorry,
And so has
say?
Junko.
Did you say I don't kill people anymore? That was out
Wait,
of
you killed-
character.
You killed people?
I just wanted to make sure that was what you said.
No, I was teasing. Haha.
Well, she is a bodyguard.
I would like to do an insight.
Do an insight check. Let's see what you get.
I would like a tea.
I would slide it back.
I've been cheated out of tea. Thank you.
What'd you
17.
get? 17? Junko, I want you to whisper me either a persuasion or deception, depending on which is true. And you do not say which you're whispering me.
I do feel like we should definitely go and speak to the druid.
Oh,
I
for sure.
concur.
That's the next thing we're doing.
That should be our next move.
So we can get that side covered, just in case.
But am I the only one in thinking that this has something to do with Byrne and Rutger?
A good way to do it is go in accusing the druid and see his reaction.
If you want to lead that, you are more than welcome, Junko.
Before you guys get too much further, by the way, and just for future reference, please make sure when someone makes a roll that you give me a chance to respond to what they got before
yeah.
we move forward. Cora, for your insight, you can't really get a read on this lady. She kind of has a deadpan that rivals some statues you've met.
Oh.
Really can't tell if she's serious or not. Sorry, please continue.
So, how's the tea?
It is sweet, like chai.
It's sweet. Chai tea. Ooh. I think Ithri would probably like that.
and
not
I
as
will
much as me.
offer to others if they want.
Thanks.
I'll have
Good.
some.
Hello, Win.
Oh, I'll try
Yes,
some.
please.
Round of tea.
Yeah, I'll take some. Why not?
Tastes like a good morning drink.
So,
It's a
I
good
used to
dessert.
have this when I was younger.
Yeah, for like dessert. Or what?
Yeah. Mother used to brew it.
Mhm.
I don't think I've ever had anything like this.
Back home, I get told that it's too sweet for every meal. But I love it so much.
It would used to be on Fridays, I think. Friday afternoon after dinner.
Mm.
I'm just going to sit there continuing to sip on my water, thinking.
and
So, let's go chat to Giraffes.
well,
If one thing I would suggest is if it's not Giraffes and that means we think it's Byrne, maybe you two should not come with us to accuse him because he doesn't know you're involved. I don't want to get you guys in trouble. If it is him. I think us going there and accusing him is going to get us thrown in jail. And I don't.
Ooh, I don't
think
like
you
that.
guys does it. Well, I mean, we can always just run.
I don't know if it will help, but perhaps me knowing him might affect his response.
Honestly,
But
you
I
being there,
don't know.
I'd like you to be there. I just don't want to be the guy that gets you into trouble. So
Oh, no,
the
no,
choice
no.
is yours.
I'll be there on my own fruition.
Thank you. Let's go scare a druid.
All right. As you guys finish your tea
Stuffed cheese.
and water and cheese, go for some cheese. I think we should probably end right here tonight.